We live, people. What's goody? What's goody, my peopleizations? It's go time. I got a special guest. This is my nephew, Christian, man. He helped build the channel. He going to be doing this UFC live because this is his specialty, so he going to be talking about it. James, what's good? Paul Porter, Red Hook, Brooklyn. What's goody with you? Young World, Darling James. Just Being E, my brother. Brooklyn in the house. C Black. Malcolm Dotson. Double Zeros. Bernard Gilbert. Darnell Kinsey. Kai, Randy Hernandez, Ralph Shelton, my brother, what's goody with you? Yeah, it's going down. C Black, what's goody with you? Smash that like button, people. Tiafimo, Tani Marie, Peace Bless Queen, Ruben Gutierrez, Mark Fralin, what's goody with y'all? Joshua Curry, Dez 32, Mo Money, Boston MMA 365, Tank Gainer, Grip, my brother, Mark Fralin, Braden Purnell, Robert Worthy II, Dez 32, Sean Harris, what's goody, my peoples? So my nephew gonna be running this live stream because this is his specialty. So he gonna be breaking down this UFC thing. I have no clue what's going on. You understand what I'm trying to tell y'all? King Stu, Baller Noel, Daniel Johnson, Byron Mack, Memphis Maine, Nato the Great, Mr. Neezy T. Villy, Gilbert Rodriguez, Gilbert Yemiaz. What's goody? Terry Pruitt, right? Peace, bless, Queen. How you doing today? So, yeah, so I need y'all to show my nephew some love. His first time running it. Stanley Bailey, what's going on? Joshua Curry laughing. You laughing at me, huh, great brother? Young High Five, Jace the Ace, Mastermind Beats. What's goody? Hey, man, we got 200 people, man. Let's get 200 likes. Smash that like button. Get the likes all the way up. DJ, New Bottingham, AVSNJ Productions. What's goody? Tay Brown, peace and blessings, Queen. John Wick, Bossy Island the Menace, peace and blessings to you, Queen. How you doing tonight? Blue, you coming into my world? No, my nephew coming in, Tay. I don't know nothing about. Hey, I'm a straight casual.
We've been in the world.
He know. Skills from New Orleans, what's going on? See, he know this UFC stuff. Like I know boxing, so he gonna give y'all this knowledge. Alex Naives was good. Mike Diaz, Hickam Kandulu. I hope I say your name right. Memphis Maine, Renaissance Dad, Alex Naives, The Truth. What's goody with y'all? Easy peasy. What's good? Smash that like button, man. Smash the like button. What time to fight? They started right now, so he can already get into it. It started right now. So The Truth. What's good? Go ahead, introduce yourself, kid.
All right, guys. So this is UFC 276. Right now we got Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munhoz on the way. And, you know, we got a phenom in Sean O'Malley. He is 5-1 in his last 6 fights. His only loss in the UFC comes from Marlon Vera. So he's on an incredible run right now. All his fights that he's won has ended in knockout in the first 3 rounds. So he's been on an incredible tear, and then he's versing someone and his first actual person to be ranked in the UFC. So he's fighting his first ranked contender in the UFC, Pedro Munhoz. He is number 9 in the bantamweight rankings, and he is very durable. Like, that's really what you can say about someone like Pedro Munhoz. He is very durable. He takes shots to the chin, and he has amazing wins, and he has been on a 2-fight. He's on a 2-fight skid right now where he's lost, but he's really only lost to champions or former champions. So this is a real test for Sean O'Malley here, and we're hoping to see a great fight right here because this is potential to be fight of the night right here. It's going to be amazing. Pedro Munhoz, his last fight was against Dominic Cruz, I am pretty sure, and he lost that fight by a split decision. It was a very close fight, but you know, like I said, right. Oh, and we last fight we just saw right now was Jim Miller versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Jim Miller wins and beats Donald Cowboy Cerrone in a rematch. Donald Cowboy Cerrone came in off a late replacement and beat Donald Cowboy Cerrone with a jumping guillotine. And then the next fight was Jalen Turner versus Brad Quick Riddell. Brad Quick Riddell just gets flatlined and choked out in a mounted guillotine by Jalen Turner, and he's just on an incredible run right now. So right now we got Sean O'Malley at the inspection stand right now. He's taking off his shirt, taking off his sweater, and he's just getting ready. Oh, right now he's wearing the green, his patented green shorts. He always wears these green shorts, tries to represent his Irish culture that he has. And then right now he actually dyed his hair. It's like a gold, it's like a gold trim with a pink. It's like mostly pink, a little bit of gold trim. And I expect to see fireworks out of Sean O'Malley here. This is going to be a real test right here. So we will know if Sean O'Malley's the real deal after watching this fight against Pedro Munhoz here, because like I said, Pedro Munhoz is a seasoned veteran. He's a seasoned veteran and has really only lost to champions or former champions like Dominic Cruz, and he's beat people like Cody Garbrandt, which is a former champion. He is very well versed in this martial arts, so this is going to be a very good fight. And I think Pedro Munhoz's way that is going to win this fight is mixing it up and getting on the inside with his strikes and just changing it up and actually using the full entire MMA set and taking him down and, basically just employing his jiu-jitsu game plan against Sean O'Malley here. You know what? Ezzy Pizzi, Cowboy did actually retire. He actually retired tonight. He laid down his gloves on the canvas and he retired. I think it was a perfect time for him to retire because he was on a 7-fight losing streak. People get away. There's people like Sam Alvey that get away with losing 5-6 fights in a row and not get cut by the UFC. But and Donald Cowboy Cerrone, he was going to be one of those people that didn't get cut by the UFC, but it was just obvious that he had to retire. He wasn't, his last fight, he just didn't look good. He was getting knocked out by people like Alex Morano, getting knocked out by people like Conor McGregor. And remember, Conor McGregor is he is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. So it's like something you have to really keep in mind. This guy is not winning and you're losing to Conor McGregor. So I think it was a perfect time for Donald Cowboy Cerrone to retire here. Oh my gosh. Teofimo, man, that fight's going to be incredible. I'm going to tell you right now, Paddy fighting Leva is about to be incredible. I think Paddy gets it done, but Leva is a really good test for Paddy because just his ground game is amazing and his striking is also amazing and he's pretty durable too. So you guys already know if Jordan Leva wins that fight, man, there's gonna be some crazy after fight shenanigans. I don't know, like he'd be on some weird stuff to be honest, but
Stone Alone. That's his name, Stone Alone.
Stone Alone. All right, Stone Alone. Yo, shout out to Stone Alone. Dropping the half a dub on me. Shout out Blue and Young Nephew. Happy birthday to myself, man. Happy birthday to Stone Alone. Thank you so much for the 10. Pedro Munhoz just walked into the octagon right now, and I think they're about to lock the doors and start getting to the actual fight. About to get interesting, y'all. It's about to be crazy. Yes, Jessica I and Cerrone retired. This is crazy, guys. But it's not really crazy. It's crazy in retrospective because you never want your favorite fighter to retire, But when you're on 7-fight losing streaks and you're losing all these fights consistently like this, you have to give it up and you have to retire because you can't keep on taking this damage from these young bucks. It's kind of hard. All right, man. Bruce Buffer's announcing the guys out here, and it's about to get interesting. Oh wow, guys, who do you guys? Everybody, drop in the comments if you guys are fans of the UFC. Go ahead and drop your predictions in the comments for this fight right now, and smash the like button. I want to see. We got 234 people in here. We should have 234 likes. So, everybody should just drop a like right now, and of course, leave your predictions in the chat right now. I'm gonna see who you guys think will win this fight.
Smash the like button, people. Get the likes all the way up.
We just got Successful Hustler dropping 2. Salute Neff and Blue and the chat family from B More. Thank you so much for dropping a 2. The queen of MMA is here, says Tay MMA, Queen Combat and Entertainment. Adesanya by 4th round KO. I can see that. And then someone right below you said, said Killer Gorilla is going to take the fight. So, I mean, you guys have contradicting and like opposing views on how the fights are going to go. So we're going to see. Me personally, I think Adesanya is going to I think he's going to do some pretty easy work to Cannonier. And it's crazy because Cannonier is one of my favorite fighters that I really enjoy. So it's just gonna be very interesting. But right now, guys, the Pedro Munhoz versus Sean O'Malley fight is starting. So I want to know who's gonna win this fight, guys. Drop your predictions in the chat, please. Adesanya, what round do you think he's getting the KO? Says 88 Sports Stock. I think he's gonna get the KO in round. I'm thinking round 2 or round 3, but I would not be opposed to seeing it go the distance. But all right, we got the Sean O'Malley fight starting right now. Right now, Pedro Munhoz starts off by throwing calf kicks and just baiting on the distance. Sean O'Malley's just measuring the distance right now, keeping out his hands. They're just moving right now. They're just doing inside and outside movement. They're trying to bait each other to make mistakes. William Old School Aaron says going with Izzy. I mean, a lot of people are, man. That's a safe bet. That's how you keep your money in the bank. Boom. Yeah, Pedro Munhoz is going to be kicking that. Like, he's going to be kicking Sean O'Malley's calf so much. This is going to be a big part of his game plan. He's going to be kicking a lot of his legs out, trying to get him to slow down so he can set him up for those takedowns. And Pedro Munhoz is just putting huge damage on Sean O'Malley's leg right now. Sean O'Malley is checking the kicks, though, so that's pretty good. But Pedro Munhoz is blasting these calf kicks and these lead low kicks at Sean O'Malley. It's crazy. Ezzy Pizzy drops half a dub. Thank you so much. There's no message on it. I'm not sure if you try to leave a message, but thank you so much, Ezzy Pizzy, for dropping half a dub. Pedro Munhoz that's really what his game plan is looking like right now. Exactly what I said, where he's going to start blasting those low kicks, trying to find his way on the inside so he can possibly get a clinch situation or try to take down Sean O'Malley, which is his best plan and best way he could possibly win this fight. And I'm not saying that Sean O'Malley doesn't have ground game, because Sean O'Malley's ground game and his jiu-jitsu game is very underrated, and I think he has some exceptional jiu-jitsu. But if you were to compare their jiu-jitsu credentials and stuff like that, Pedro Munhoz is just on a different level, credential-wise, and just it's just different. It's a different thing. Israel with the win, says Dre Finest. Man, everybody rocking with Izzy, it looks like. I gotta have some. Where the Cannonier a little bit. It's crazy. As he says, Blue looks like Blue Blood Sports will be diversifying. Fine job, young brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We just trying out here. O'Malley's a tall 135-pounder. He is exceptionally tall for a 135-pounder. Sean O'Malley is he is definitely a genetic freak for that 135 division. Sean O'Malley just low kicked. He just kicked Pedro Munhoz in the cup right now, in the groin. So he's getting a little timeout right now. But anyways, yeah, I mean, listen, Sean O'Malley is 5'11", and he has a 80-inch arm reach, which is just, he has a 72-inch arm reach, I'm pretty sure, for the 135 division, which is super, super long, especially going against someone like Pedro Munhoz. He has a stockier, shorter 135-pounder. This is someone that you would actually see like at 135 at like a normal weight. Pedro Munhoz is, shorter and stockier. It's just someone you would actually see. Sean O'Malley is definitely a freak when it comes to genetics, being 5'11" with a 72-inch arm reach. Pedro Munhoz is putting the pressure on right now. Just calf kicking Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is just throwing a lot of feints right now. It looks like he's definitely getting a little uncomfortable with all these leg kicks that Pedro Munhoz is throwing, but he's just it looks like he's trying to set something up. He's just waiting, just feinting a lot, switching stances a lot, and Pedro Munhoz keeps on blasting his legs as he's switching stance. So I'm afraid that Sean O'Malley is not gonna have any legs by the time the second round or third round comes around. Killer Gorilla is no joke. I saw what he did to Derek Brunson. Yeah, Tay MMA. Oh my gosh, yeah. The way that Jared Cannonier did Derek Brunson was crazy, because remember, if you actually watch the fight, Derek Brunson dropped Jared Cannonier in the first round with a short right hook, and Jared Cannonier came back to drop Derek Brunson with a back fist on the chin and followed up with 6 unanswered elbows just clean to his chin and just knocked him unconscious and woke him up and knocked him unconscious again, which is crazy, to be honest. The biggest fight we need to see is Ngannou versus Jones. I don't want to see Jones versus Stipe. Man, everybody wants to see that fight, Tay. That is a dream fight right there. The round ends right here, and I'm pretty sure Pedro Munhoz has the first round. Sean O'Malley couldn't really do much because he was getting his legs chopped up. But I don't know. If Pedro continues like this, he's going to keep on chopping down the legs, and everything else follows. It's just like in boxing. When you chop down the tree, the head follows once you chop down the body. And it's the same thing for MMA. When you chop down the legs, the body follows. Then after the body follows, the head follows, and that's how you get knockouts. 80% of knockouts come from a combination first thrown to the body. Yeah, blood, man. Cannonier is the problem here. Dawada Ben Yawada, I'm not sure if I said that right. Excuse me if I didn't. Says Cannonier is a Hebrew Israelite, and is he, even though his name is Israel, it's a Hamlet. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm rooting for Cannonier. That's fine. I mean, we need some people that are rooting for Cannonier, because Cannonier is definitely a problem. He has won all but one of his middleweight fights. You know, he came in off of a debut against David Branch, knocked him out stiff. Then he went out and fought Jack Hermanson, knocked him out stiff in Stockholm. It's just, man, you just cannot count out Jared Cannonier. His power is something crazy. You know, coming down from the heavyweight division now down to 185, the power has to stick with you. That's like the last thing that goes. Jersey Miles says, no way. The biggest fight I want to see is the Stylebender versus Jared Cannonier. That's going to happen in a couple of hours. You only got a couple hours left. We got to see this Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munhoz fight right now. Both of them trade front kicks up the middle. I'm not sure about Pedro Munhoz throwing front kicks up the middle. But Sean O'Malley, since he has that reach advantage and that height advantage, I can see him hitting Pedro Munhoz, because Pedro Munhoz doesn't really move his head a lot, which is absurd, because he's actually moving his head way more in this fight against Sean O'Malley than he ever has in his other fights against like Cody Garbrandt, where they were just in the phone booth just swinging hooks, which is crazy. Sean O'Malley loading up on a huge left hand right there. It looks like Sean O'Malley's finally getting his footing, and I think it's probably because Pedro's not blasting those leg kicks at him anymore. Sean O'Malley feinting. He's actually picking his shots very well now after Pedro Munhoz is not throwing these leg kicks anymore. Now he's attempting, but Sean O'Malley is actually doing very good job checking them and stuff like that. Mike G, well, it's the second round. It's 3-16 in the second round, and Pedro Munhoz definitely won the first round. It looks like Sean O'Malley is actually finding his footing, and he's finding his rhythm right now. And it seems like he's tagging up Pedro Munhoz right now. Pedro Munhoz is not throwing as much leg kicks as he was in the first round, and when he does throw the leg kicks, they're actually getting checked or just getting evaded by Sean O'Malley kicking his leg back. So that's what it's looking like right now. Who do you think Valentina Shevchenko should fight next, Tay-Tay? I think that Valentina Shevchenko should fight. I genuinely think that a rematch with Talia Santos would not be horrible, just because of how close that fight was. And Talia Santos is one of those top contenders. Now, if she doesn't win that, if that fight's not made, then I could see her fighting the winner of Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight title. I think that would be an amazing fight. A trilogy with Amanda Nunes, or the second fight, a rematch between Juliana Pena. So I think either or would be an amazing fight, and I think that Valentina Shevchenko has an amazing opportunity right there to grab 2 titles and finally go for that champ status that she's been going for a while. It looks like Sean O'Malley is doing a lot of fouling right now. I think this is his second foul. This time around, it's a poke in the eye. First one was a groin strike. This one was a poke in the eye. It was definitely accidental, but, you know, when you're longer like that, when you have a 72-inch arm reach and you're trying to pull back on punches and you're trying to gauge the distance and retreat with the stiff arm retreat, it's pretty obvious your fingers are probably going to go into your opponent's eyes, especially when they're shorter than you and you're just trying to prone the distance. John got amazing Muay Thai and BJJ. He has amazing Muay Thai. His Muay Thai is very clean. Tay says the whole flyweight division is food for Valentina Shevchenko except for Santos. That is complete. I think that's genuinely true. I don't know any flyweights that would actually just serve like as a threat to Valentina Shevchenko. She's been clearing out the entire division. Like at this point, she's gonna end up like a Kamaru Usman or a Israel Adesanya, where they have to end up rematching over and over and over again because there's just nobody else for them to fight. Pedro Munhoz, it looks like Pedro Munhoz is really hurt by this eye poke right now. He's saying that all he sees is black. So, wow, the doctor is telling the Jason Herzog that he can't see anything out of the eye. I think Pedro Munhoz needs to take some time, because if this is going to be a no contest, I'm pretty sure, if the doctor decides and the referee decides that this fight can't continue. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a no contest, which is going to be crazy, because this is definitely not what we expected. We definitely expected for – oh, that's it. They called it off. Jason Herzog called it off. Unintentional foul. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a no contest. That is so lackluster, guys. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, everybody in the chat, look at this, guys. Damn, tell me your thought about that, guys. They just canceled the fight. They just stopped the fight right now due to an unintentional eye poke. Sean O'Malley was trying to stiff arm retreat and have his fingers out, much like John Jones or other taller fighters do when they're fighting shorter fighters. They stick out their hand like this with their gloves when they're supposed to have their hands pointing upwards like this, or just fully closed. But he tries to retreat because Pedro Munhoz tried to fight his way on the inside and slipped on the inside. But Sean O'Malley tried to back up, boom, and he poked him in the eye. So kind of grazed him, and it entered in his eye and kind of scooped it like that. And Pedro Munhoz says he can't see. He only sees blacks out of his eyes. So that's looking rough. So it's going to look like it's going to be a no contest, which is so lackluster, because this was supposed to be one of the fight of the nights. Which is crazy. Tay says, yeah, Jones is known for the eye poking stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just his. And what's crazy is that that's actually his fighting style. You know, this is not something he does unintentionally. He does this intentionally. He made a video on Twitter a while ago saying, laughing and crying, just imitating like the fighters that he's fought, saying, boo-hoo, John Jones is going to poke me in the eye. Basically, just alluding to the fact that he pokes them in their eye for fun, which is crazy. And yeah, guys, it looks like it's going to be a no contest. We're going to have the official decision right here. Should be a rule. It should be kept fully closed when extending it. There is a rule. You're supposed to have your fingers up at all times, or you're going to have them closed. Yep, the fight is just declared a no decision, so that's absolutely horrible. So now Sean O'Malley's record is I'm pretty sure a 22-1-1 record now. So that pretty clean record is just getting tainted a little bit more. We have the Nelk boys in the crowd right now. They were rooting for Sean O'Malley, but sadly, when you make mistakes like that and you have your hand out and you kind of ignore the rule, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's very hard when you're trying to retreat and you're a taller fighter to close your hands, especially when you could put your hand on the forehead and just, twirl them around. But there is a rule in place where you're supposed to have your hands closed or pointing up at the ceiling, so you don't do that, and it prevents it a little bit more. Valentina Shevchenko's in the crowd right now. She just came off of a win against Talia Santos. So skills from New Orleans says top level salute. Chai _064 says Jones will demolish Francis. His wrestling skills suck. This is crazy because if we really go deeper into it, I think Jones's wrestling has always been the thing that he could back on in his career, because that's what he started off with. Then he started getting in love with his kickboxing and his Muay Thai, and we knew him for that after. But he still always had that wrestling that would take him to all the places. It took him to the championship that he won, against people like Shogun Hua and all the defenses that he had. First person to take down Daniel Cormier in the UFC, and it's just crazy. But we cannot say that Francis's wrestling is horrible, because if we were to say that, then we would discredit him from winning that belt in the first place. He shouldn't have won that. He shouldn't have won the belt in the first place if his wrestling was horrible, because he wouldn't have won that belt against Stipe Miocic. Stipe Miocic was shooting on him in the second fight, and Francis just stopped every single takedown and actually ended up taking Stipe down and just battering him on the ground. And then Stipe made a mistake, and then Francis did what he does and just hit him like a Mack truck and just put him to sleep. And then in his first title defense, he fought Ciryl Gane, and the way Francis won that fight was by wrestling Ciryl Gane off of a mistake that Ciryl Gane made when he was trying to go for the heel hook. So we can't say that Francis's wrestling is absolutely zero, and he's an actual natural heavyweight. This is a big, strong guy. John Jones is coming up from 205. I'm not saying that he's not a natural heavyweight, because that's probably what he walked around as, but he just doesn't have the same strength and the same power, natural power that Ngannou possesses. So I could see Ngannou stuffing takedowns from Jones and just beating Jones, but I do think that Jones is technically better than Francis Ngannou, just with his skills and all around. Jones will lose. You want to bet? Wow, we throwing bets in the chat now. Listen, if I had to put my money on someone, I would definitely put. You really can bet against Jones. Jones is undefeated in the UFC. His only loss is to Matt Hamill when he hit him with the illegal 12-6 elbow. But man, you can't bet against Jones because of how good he adapts, and that's what champions do. They adapt, and they win fights by adapting to the style that their opponent has. And so I would be very stupid to say that Jones has no chance against Francis Ngannou, but Francis Ngannou has just taken a level. He's just moved up and just gotten better from his previous fights. His first fight against Stipe Miocic and his fight with Derek Lewis, he's just gotten better. So I think that Francis Ngannou would win that match, but I don't think it would be a clean sweep. I think it would be very, very, very competitive. Personally, my heart wants John Jones to win, even after all the stuff that he does, because John Jones has always been someone that I looked up to, not because of his actions outside of the cage, but because his actions inside the cage, besides all the eye poking and stuff like that. So, you know how it is. Who you got in Volkswagen versus Holloway? Mini Blue says Marky Dan 123. Damn, like it's really hard. You don't want to bet. You can't now that Alexander Volkanovski is 2-0 against Max Holloway. It's really hard for you to bet against Alexander Volkanovski because I mean he's won both of the fights. You know, he won both of the fights, regardless of how close they were or how he said that he obviously won the first fight. But Alexander's gotten better. He's just getting better progressively, and he's just on a path right now where it looks like he's going to be one of those all-time greats. Max had his time. He was an all-time great. He still might be an all-time great at featherweight, but I don't know. We have to see adjustments from Max Holloway to know that he could be Alexander Volkanovski. You know, he dropped Alexander Volkanovski twice in their second match. But Alexander Volkanovski, like I said with the Jones, they adapt and they get better as the fight progresses, and then they beat their opposition by just progressing and getting better. And that's simply how it goes. Is the O'Malley that void? I had him on a parlay. 820, 24. Yeah, it ended up in a no decision. So I'm pretty sure that it would end up in I'm not sure. I'm actually completely not sure what that would do to your parlay, to be honest. Max was robbed in the second fight, says Malik L. I believe that also. I don't know if I would say robbery, because I think people throw around the word robbery a lot in combat sports, but I think that Max definitely did enough to win that, and I definitely would give the nod to Max Holloway instead of Alexander Volkanovski, but I don't think I would say robbery. I think it was very close, and I think it could have went either way, but me personally, I had it going to Max Holloway 3-2. Marky Dan 123 says, "Are you Blue's son?" No, I'm not his son. I'm his nephew, and I'm just taking over the UFC stream right now because I guess I just have more knowledge when it comes to the UFC and MMA than Blue. Blue is primarily about boxing, the NFL, basketball. You guys can go subscribe to BB Sports over there, like BB Hoops. So, you know, this is not technically his forte. That's why I'm taking over the stream. Yeah. Malik L says, "No, I watched the fight 3 times and Volk did not win 3 rounds." I can literally see where you said that. That's what I said. I don't see where Volk wins 3 rounds. I think that Holloway did enough to win the first 3 rounds. But he did rally in those last 2 rounds, and he made it close enough to where people could say, and the judges, which are the people that actually matter, could say that Volkanovski won that. Now, the Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena fight is starting, so this is supposed to be, hopefully it's not as lackluster as the last fight that we just saw, but this is supposed to be an absolute banger right here. This is supposed to be a fight of the night right here, versus Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena. But you guys have to remember, this is not Robbie Lawler that fought Rory McDonald's twice. This is the Robbie Lawler that fought Nick Diaz. And, you know, later in his career, I think Robbie Lawler had this problem with taking his foot off of the pedal and just taking his foot off the gas. And he's just not as ferocious as he once was. Now, I know that it's kind of hard to say that because when he did beat Nick Diaz in his most recent fight, he looked amazing in the first couple rounds, but he just didn't have that same ferociousness as he did in the other fights, like against Rory McDonald and just all his other fights, Rory McDonald, the Johnny Hendricks fights. He just didn't have that same oomph to it. Tay says, "Did you see Funkmaster and Triple C go at it?" Yeah, it's crazy. It's so like it's so inorganic to me, to be honest. Like, I don't believe it. Like, I look at it and it just looks fake, to be honest. Like, it's hard for them to. The only way they can build up that fight is because they are 2 of the best people at that weight. Besides that, I don't think there's any bad blood. I don't think there's anything that could really build up that fight. besides them just being the best at their weight class, to be honest. Shy_0604 says, I'm getting my black stripe in BJJ next week. Yo, congratulations. Congratulations. That's actually a huge accomplishment right there. That's great. What belt are you, if you don't mind me asking? I know you're getting your black stripe. I'm not completely sure if that means you're an actual black belt, but what belt do you have, if you don't mind me asking? All right, guys. All right, so we got Robbie Lawler versus Bryan Barberena starting up. This is going to be crazy. Robbie Lawler is 40 years old. This guy is 40 years old. He's been fighting in the UFC since the beginning, basically. You know, this guy had most of his first couple fights in the UFC, and then he went off to Strikeforce, and he went off to other promotions like that. So this guy is a seasoned veteran, and if we're thinking, if I had to put my money on someone winning, I would put my money on Bryan Barberena just because of the age differential and how his momentum is shifting right now. But I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Barberena either. I think that it's going to be a tough fight, but Barberena is going to take away the decision, or he is going to get that TKO on Robbie Lawler, just because I think Robbie Lawler is going to make some mistakes and just get put out of his misery. I'm thinking I could possibly see a second round TKO from Bryan Barberena. What's going on, Static Shock? This is amazing. All right, guys, they're getting introduced right now. Get introduced. Referee is going to be Mark Smith. I actually enjoy Mark Smith. Mark Smith does some good work as a referee. Let's just hope it's not as lackluster as the Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munhoz fight, because I really wanted that fight to be a banger, and I actually predicted that was going to be one of the fight of the nights. But, you know, Pedro Munhoz was winning that fight. Sean O'Malley was winning the second round, and then it ended up in a eye poke. So, no decision. All right. So you got two southpaws in Robbie Lawler and Bryan Barberena. They're moving around a lot. This is a difference that you completely see with Bryan Barberena and Robbie Lawler. They move around now. You know, once Robbie Lawler went ahead and I'm not sure if it was when he actually was in an American Top Team or when he left American Top Team, but he started moving a little bit more, and he had a different movement to him with his footwork. And it's the same thing with Bryan Barberena. They're not as sit down on your punches. I mean, they will sit down on their punches when they're in the pocket and you're just throwing leather, but they do move around way more. So it's going to be a really good fight to see. Right now, Robbie Lawler is going to the body with a straight left, and he's looking amazing right now. He's looking just quick, and he's looking like the beast that showed up in the Nick Diaz fight, the first round. So he's looking amazing. Antoine Martin says, much love to Blue's nephew. Thank you so much. I appreciate all y'all in the chat watching me right now. I appreciate it. This is the first time, and we're just taking over right now just because I have a love for MMA. I have a love for boxing. I have a love for combat sports in general, and I just want to talk to you guys about it because I really enjoy your presence too, guys, all you people in the chat. Bryan Barberena is also going for straight rights to the body. They're cracking leather right now, just exchanging hooks in the pocket right now. Barberena has his back to the fence. Wow, good body shot by Bryan Barberena. This is just crazy because they're just throwing. They're really just sitting down in the pocket, just throwing leather, just exchanging hooks right now. Wow, Robbie Lawler just stunned Bryan Barberena with a straight left. That was amazing. And then he changed it into a left uppercut, and he really rocked him there. And Robbie Lawler is really going to the body too, And he's using a very good Philly shell in MMA right now. This defense is definitely different from Robbie Lawler. His defense is looking exceptional right now. I'm not going to lie. Wow. This is crazy right now. But Brian Barberena is shooting that left right now. Oh, my gosh. Robbie Lawler just hit a wow, he just hit a left straight counter over Brian Barberena's jab. It looks like Brian Barberena is just trying to pick off shots and just trying to tip-tap, like just tap him with shots just to try to get his back off the fence right now. Much like a Mayweather where he's just tap, 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 and then he's throwing the actual big, strong punch that he actually wants to do damage with. But Robbie Lawler is just throwing everything into his punches right now. He's not holding back anything. He's throwing all these with 100%. So completely different from Brian Barberena's game plan where he's pit-patting and then throwing big punches. Demetrius Bright sends a $5 salute, young prince. You are doing a great job. Keep working on your art. The sky's the limit for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really trying to do this out here. To be honest, I'm just trying to entertain y'all. Just get some good fights on for today. We can just talk about it and just have a good time in the chat right now. That's really all I'm trying to do. Wow. Robbie Lawler is looking amazing. The way he's slipping these shots and rolling with the punches and going to the body of Brian Barberena. This is looking great. Like, Robbie Lawler's defense is looking immaculate here. You know, of course, he's getting tagged with some shots because he's very flat-footed, but he's rolling with punches very good. So, Robbie Lawler hits him with a 1-2. Continues to go to the body, gets the clinch off and breaks off the clinch. Brian Barberena hits him with some big shots. Robbie Lawler hits him with a straight left. It's just a big boxing battle. Oh my gosh, Robbie Lawler eats a head kick just randomly. Okay. And the first round comes to an end. That was crazy, to be honest. These guys are both taking huge shots that would put like anybody out in the welterweight division. This is crazy. Robbie Lawler's defense is looking amazing. He is picking off shots with his gloves. He is rolling shots off with his shoulder, and he's just using a very good Philly shell defense in MMA, which is not used by a lot of people because of how open it can leave you in your legs, how open it can leave you to a left hook, like a lead hook. But it's working for him right now, so he's looking exceptional right now, exceptional. They're just mostly boxing right now with a little bit of Muay Thai with the clinching. I don't see this going to the ground, but this is going crazy. They're throwing a lot of significant strikes. It looks like Robbie Lawler is definitely way more accurate. He's throwing way less significant strikes because he's focusing primarily on defense first and then countering. But Brian Barberena just threw 190 significant strikes and landed about 62 of them. So they're throwing out an amazing clip right now. Charlie Martin says, "Young Buck, you got a knack for this for real." I appreciate that. You know, I'm just talking about this is just how you would talk with your friends. Like, this is how you would talk with your family, you know, about something that you enjoy. I enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and that's why we're just getting along and just talking about it very comfortably and easy. Because at first I was pretty nervous to start the stream because, you know, I don't really stream like that, but once we started the stream and Blue got it started off, it was just pretty easy because everyone's so nice and calm in the chat, and we just get along, to be honest. Wow, Robbie Lawler hits Brian Barberena with a beautiful right hook. And now he's just popping that jab, that southpaw jab, and he's really not missing right now. Wow! Robbie Lawler rocks Brian Barberena with a jab, with a southpaw jab. He's throwing a step-in jab, and he's just throwing a lot of power into that jab from southpaw. and he keeps on rocking him with it. Bryan Barberena is trying to come back, but he's just getting countered by Robbie Lawler because he's shaking off the shots and rolling with them and countering. This is some of the best Robbie Lawler I've seen of recent because he is picking shots off with his gloves. It's so easy. He's parrying, rolling, and countering. This is like an amazing boxing display in MMA right here. Robbie Lawler looks amazing. This is like vintage Robbie Lawler here. Charmaine Callahan says, "Oh my gosh, he kidnapped Blue and took over his show." Yeah, I did something like that. We had to get Blue out of here when it comes to MMA because he definitely 100% knows more than me when it comes to boxing, NFL, football, basketball, probably every other sport. When it comes to MMA, I got love for MMA and the UFC specifically. So I pride myself on knowing just a little bit. Bryan Barberena is actually starting to walk forward now. Previously, he just had his back to the cage, and he kind of doesn't want to be there because Robbie Lawler is just kind of picking shots off and just countering him with stuff. So it's not looking too good for Bryan Barberena. But at least he's walking forward. But he is leaving himself very open, and he looks like he's getting tired a little bit. And he's getting countered huge by Robbie Lawler. Right now, he just hit him with a lead hook. I'm Cook XE says, when do they fight? I'm assuming you're talking about Adesanya versus Cannonier. That's going to come in about 2 to 3 fights. So I'm thinking it's going to be at later 12s to 1 o'clock over here on the East Coast. Robbie Lawler is throwing combinations to the body and following up to the head. It's just, he's looking amazing right now. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the second round, and they're just throwing shots. Oh my gosh, Bryan Barberena hurts Robbie Lawler with elbows, and he's just throwing hooks right now. Robbie Lawler's just picking off shots right now, but he looks like he's definitely hurt right now. This is crazy. Bryan Barberena is throwing elbows, lead elbows. Barberena has to pick up the output, and he needs to throw big strikes. Has to start going to the body and following up to the head. He just got countered right now by Robbie Lawler, and they're just having a slugfest right now. He just hurt Robbie Lawler with a lead hook. I can't even speak. This is crazy right now, guys. Oh my gosh, Barberena hits Robbie Lawler again with a straight left. They're just countering each other with straight lefts. Wow. It doesn't look like Robbie's recovering right now. He's not recovering too good. He looks like he's still on shaky legs. He's still on Queer Street. It's crazy. Tay says MVP and bare knuckle brawling. Yikes, that is crazy. When I first saw the news, I was absolutely shocked. I never saw that happening, especially against Platinum Mike Perry. Wow, Bryan Barberena's hitting Robbie Lawler with some shots, and there you go. Bryan Barberena's boom. And there it is. He stops the fight. And what did I tell you guys? Go back in the stream and tell me what I told you guys. I said Bryan Barberena is gonna stop Robbie Lawler in the second round by TKO. Tell me what I told you. I literally said exactly that. I told y'all. I just knew that. Listen, I will say that I definitely underestimated Robbie Lawler because Robbie Lawler looked amazing, and he looked like vintage Robbie Lawler, but he just he can't take the same punishment that he was taking back in the day against Rory McDonald. He just can't take that same punishment. Once you've been in so many wars, your brain just can only take so much more, Wow, Bryan Barberena was just hitting him with lead elbows and lead hooks and rear hooks, and he was just putting it on him. And it seems like Robbie Lawler never recovered from the initial straight that Bryan Barberena hit him with. And then Mark Smith just stopped the fight because he's a good ref, and I think that was a perfect call right there because we did not want to see Robbie Lawler getting hurt more. That was crazy. I took Barberena in my parlay. I'm telling you, yo, I'm not saying like I'm a mystic or anything like that, but I definitely think about my picks. And we just happened to get this pick right because I felt like this was just obvious. Bryan Barberena takes it. second round TKO. Like I said, Barberena threw over 200 strikes. Yes, he was throwing crazy. Sometimes he wouldn't be landing, and also he would throw a lot of pity pat shots to land his big shots. But he was definitely throwing, and he was clipping Robbie Lawler, and it was just a matter of time until Robbie Lawler couldn't do anymore. Brian Barberena wins by TKO, second round. 50 says, when is the Adesanya fight? Like I said, it's most likely going to be at like 12:30-ish to like 1 o'clock. It just depends on how quick these fights go. But you also know that ESPN is on a schedule, so I'm thinking about 12:30 to 1 o'clock. That's probably most likely when it's going to be. Brian Barberena just looked at me. He was taking big shots by Robbie Lawler, but it just didn't matter. He's just very durable, but I think he kind of has the same. He's in the same predicament as Robbie Lawler. You know, if you have this many wars in the start of your career, you are not saving a lot of space for yourself later as you progress in your career and as you start moving up in the rankings against these young guys or these older guys that are veterans that know what to do and know how to capitalize against you just throwing shots like this. His durability will definitely run out, but I hope it's well off and he's retired by then, because he does remind me of it. I think this was amazing matchmaking because he's very like Robbie Lawler, and they're very durable and they just throw leather. It's just crazy. D-Man Jr. says it's on ESPN Plus. Exactly. Obi Amajoy MD, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please correct me. Says the young prince, keep it up, son. Blue salute, great job. Blue is probably watching from somewhere. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to entertain you guys and just trying to have a talk with you guys in the chat. Brandon B, that would be good, but Izzy is too small. Plus, Izzy lost a fight at light heavyweight, Tay says. Yeah, that's Izzy's only loss in MMA. He lost to Jan Blachowicz. So, you know, I think that Israel definitely. I don't know. I don't think that Israel should necessarily, because once he keeps on defending, I know he's gonna have the urge to go back up to light heavyweight. But if Yuri Prochazka performs like how he performed against Glover Teixeira, I can see Israel capitalizing, but Yuri is huge for that 205-pound division, so it is crazy. Obi says, you got it perfect, young king. Call me Obi. Perfect. I'm just call you Obi from now. Brandon B says, Khabib versus GSP. Both in their primes? Man, I'm going to give you a real answer. I think Khabib beats GSP in their primes, and then I think GSP wins the rematch like he always does. And then they have a trilogy, and I'll let you guys decide whoever wins that one. That's what I'll say. I'm not even gonna get very political in here. I'll say that Khabib will win the first one, GSP will win the second one, like he always does, and you guys tell me who would win the last one. I'll say that. Nico Valentine says, who won? This was the Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena fight, and Brian Barberena just won. He actually, if I was a betting man, which I'm not because I'm not a betting man that's legally able to bet. Well, actually, yeah, we are. This is newer. So, if I bet on that fight, I would have got it perfectly because it was a second round TKO, which I predicted. So yeah, Brian Barberena won and defeated Robbie Lawler by second round TKO. Young Kings Company says, Blue, what it do? Hold up. You get in time machine. Whoever are you? Salute to Young King. Yeah. We took the hot tub time machine and Blue just got a little bit younger, and now we on the stream and we're talking about UFC instead of boxing. So this is completely different. This is not even the hot tub time machine. We just entered like a different reality. This is a different dimension. Brandon B says Ortega versus Rodriguez is a good fight of the year contender. That is going to be an amazing fight, and it's going to be in Long Island. So, wow, that's going to be an amazing fight. That's all I got to say. I don't necessarily know why that was the place that the location that they chose, because I think there could have been way more Long Island fighters on that Long Island card, but I'm not completely sure because I don't think they released the entire card. But you would think that a Long Island card would probably most likely be headlined by Long Island natives. You know, someone like a Aljamain Sterling, or if you wanted just to be a fight night, it could be I don't know. I'm not sure if Chris Weidman is fully healed up, but you know, Chris Weidman or Merab Darius really versus Jose Aldo, that would have been perfect right there for a Long Island event. Yeah. Tete says, I got Izzy. Yeah, a lot of people have Izzy, guys. I mean, there's some people that have Cannonier, but I do think personally that Izzy's going to get it done, and I think it's going to be a third-round TKO. I think it's going to be a third-round knockout. I think Jared Cannonier is definitely very durable because he's coming down from heavyweight, and he's doing amazing. He's doing exceptional. He's won all but one of his middleweight fights. And the person he lost to was the #1 contender and arguably one of the greatest middleweights of all time, Robert Whittaker. So, you know, there's no shame in losing to someone like Robert Whittaker if you're Jared Cannonier. So, you know, he beat the David Branch, he beat the Jack Hermansons of the world, he beat the Kelvin Gaslams of the world, he beat the Derek Brunsons of the world, he beat basically every stylistic matchup. And now he's going against the Anderson Silva of our generation. So, as he would like to call himself, I'm not even going to say. Malik L says, GSP was a better striker than Khabib. His jab was a work of art. That's very true. I will agree with you there. Yeah, Freddie Roach got his jab crazy. I think GSP would pull it out against Khabib in back-to-back fights. I don't disagree with you. I think he possibly could do that. Like I said, I don't have the greatest opinion about that fight because it is a fantasy fight. You see, if it was actually going on, then I'll give you my actual opinion. But we're not trying to, you know, I don't know. But GSP, his striking was phenomenal for his time, especially. He was one of those people that incorporated all these mixed martial arts. I mean, everybody incorporates these mixed martial arts, but he really went to the specialists. You know, he went to the Freddie Roaches of the world. He went to the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. I'm not remembering who exactly he went to. I'm pretty sure it was an Eddie Bravo. I'm not sure, but he went to the top exact practitioners of the martial arts he was trying to get better at, and that's what made him special in the UFC because if he had a hole, he would fix it. And he would specialize in that. And then of course he was an amazing wrestler, and he never had like a collegiate wrestling career and stuff like that. So it was pretty crazy that he would use his wrestling a lot, and he was never a college wrestler, never won those all those accolades like these wrestlers like Colby Covington and, you know, Kamaru Usman, or, you know, just wrestlers like that would win. Jimi Hendrix beat GSP but got cheated. That is definitely that's a take, because I genuinely believe that is true also. But listen, if Johnny Hendrix beat GSP, and if that fight actually went the way it was supposed to be, then we wouldn't have had GSP winning the middleweight title against Michael Bisping. So let's be grateful for a little bit that he got a second title, and he actually got to elevate his legacy in being a Hall of Fame fighter, because he beat Michael Bisping, because he ended up winning that fight against Johnny Hendrix, allegedly. But it actually happened on paper. It actually happened, but you know, it was pretty controversial. Chief Wildfire said also that eye poke was fake as AF. He had his fingers raised. It's the rule. I think I don't know. I saw the eye poke. It didn't look super harmful, but we don't know what these fighters are feeling at the time that they're feeling things, especially since they have their adrenaline pumping crazy. So anything could. There's certain things that can offset these athletes off. Just I don't know. But it is crazy. It was definitely lackluster, and I hated that it ended that way because it definitely was not supposed to end that way. It sucked. Salute, Lil Blue. What's good? Salute to the chat. Says America's Passion Travels. What's good? We're just chilling right now. We're watching the UFC fights right now and just talking about them and just talking about the entire landscape of the UFC. But right now, I'm so excited. All of you guys. I want everybody to drop their predictions right now because this is one of the fights that is most anticipated because I could not wait for this fight. Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. Alex Pereira is only he is 2-0 in the UFC right now. He is 2-0 in the UFC, and he's fighting the number 4 contender in Sean Strickland. Now, if he wins this fight, he has an automatic, most likely, he has an automatic title shot against Israel Adesanya. Obviously, if Israel does his job and wins the fight against Jared Cannonier. Now, oh my gosh, wow. Alex Pereira, I don't know how you guys feel about Alex Pereira, but Alex Pereira is a problem. His striking is just phenomenal, and his power in his left hand and his right hand, both, is phenomenal. And now that he's training with Glover Teixeira, when it comes to the ground game, I think he's going to be hard to do all the things that you would just genuinely think you would be able to do to a kickboxer in MMA. Because I think he evolved. But we will see that evolution right now because I'm pretty sure that Sean Strickland is going to try to wrestle him in this fight. I got Alex Pereira in this fight, by the way. Facts, GSP definitely dug Tyron to fight Bisping. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because then we got Tyron Woodley's reign, and Tyron Woodley's reign as champion was pretty decent. He was a 5-time UFC champion. He beat Robbie Lawler in an emphatic fashion, knocked him out with that overhand right, and just slept Robbie Lawler. And then we can't forget about that a beautiful performance against Darren Till. Darren Till was super hyped up, super massively pushed by the UFC, and he just ended up getting taken out by Tyron Woodley by a Darce choke. So got dropped and then got Darce choked. So Sean Strickland is entering the building right now. Wow. Man, 4th ranked middleweight Sean Strickland is entering the building right now. He's walking to the ring and walking to the inspection area. And tell me how you guys feel about Sean Strickland's his entire – if you guys know about the UFC, if you guys know about all that, I don't know how you guys feel about Sean Strickland, but when it comes to his fighting, I will say that I definitely respect his fighting. And that's really all I'm going to say about him. I'm going to say that I respect his fighting because the takes that he has is just sometimes they're just out of pocket. But he has a really good boxing base when it comes to MMA. He uses the Philly roll very well, and he breaks you down with that jab because he has an exceptional jab. And he has a very great gas tank when it comes to MMA. And when it comes to these 15-round fights, he has an amazing gas tank. But that's the thing. He doesn't throw big shots. This is not a guy that will try to really finish you. He doesn't throw big shots, but he's able to coast and basically defensively jab his way to a win. And we will see because he can also grab very well. So this fight is about to be amazing. Wow. Let me know who you guys got in the chat right now. Let me know who you guys got, Alex Pereira or Sean Strickland. This is about to be crazy. This is going to be an exceptional fight. Remember, we got Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is 6'4", 34, and he has a 79-inch arm reach, right? And then we got Sean Strickland. He is 31, 6'1", and then he has a 70-inch arm reach. So he has a huge reach advantage against Sean Strickland. So let's just see how this goes because Sean Strickland got an amazing jab, but Alex Pereira knows what to do against an amazing jab. He's an amazing kickboxer. He will slip to the right, slip to the left, slip to the right, do whatever he has to do to fire his straight right, his patented. He does a straight right to split the guard, and then he comes around with a beautiful left hook that'll just crack you, just sits right here on the chin or sits right here on the temple, and it'll put you out or just send you on Queer Street. And that's all. That's literally all. That's all she wrote right there. Tay says, what do you think about Jean versus Joanna 2? Yo, Joanna got laid out. Oh my gosh, yo. So let me tell you a story about this. It's crazy because, so my brother over here, he was just over here. Brian, he bought some prism cards for the UFC, some cards like trading cards, and he got a signed Joanna card. And I was like, man, because this was before the fight, and I told him, save that card because if Joanna wins this fight, then she's gonna fight Carla Esparza, and we already know how that first Carla Esparza Joanna fight played out. So I told him to save it because she's a Hall of Famer no matter what, and she ended up getting knocked out. And I called him up. I was like, "Well, you could probably have to sit on that card or sell it instantly right now." But regardless, we got the Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira fight starting up right now, and let's just see it. All right. Alex Pereira got the yellow shorts on, and Sean Strickland got the white shorts on. Alex Pereira starts off with just throwing lead low kicks right now. But Sean Strickland is pushing the pace right now. He's walking forward, just throwing a pretty good jab right now. Sean Strickland is he's very good at adapting. Since he spars so much, it's crazy. He spars literally like every single day. So his timing is very exceptional when it comes to just management of the range. So he will really pop you with a jab, exit just the right amount so he can counter or roll it off or catch your kick or do whatever, and then he'll throw another jab or throw a little right hand or something like that. Alex Pereira looks like he's just trying to pick him apart, trying to find his distance right now, and just trying to find his timing against Sean Strickland right now. Jerry Ethan says Pereira by KO. His reach will help him by touching Sean and press the snooze button. In my opinion, it's literally what I'm saying. I think that Pereira is gonna do it. I think he's gonna touch him. I think he's just gonna touch, and put a big shot through the guard. And it's just gonna be crazy. That's what I'm predicting right now. Tay says, I don't know what's going to happen with Doug Rose. I think she needs a couple fights to build herself back up to a championship just after that last performance, because she was actually one of my favorite female fighters. But it's just facts. Rob says, respect to James Toney for getting into that cage to fight Randy Couture. Man, if he got thrown in with anybody else, like you're throwing him in against Randy Couture, one of the best wrestlers at the time. Like you're throwing him against a pure grappler. It's like if you were to throw James Toney in with a striker or someone that just would like to box, that fight could have played out entirely differently. But respect to James Toney, man. James Toney was a beast in his prime. Cal Capone says Alex by submission. That's crazy. I could definitely see that happening also. I think I can see Sean Strickland definitely getting impatient. Wow, Alex Pereira just knocked out Sean Strickland in the first round. Alex Pereira knocks out Sean Strickland in the first round. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, he knocks him out, right? Listen, guys, he knocks out Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland gets up. He's like, oh my gosh, where am I? And knocks him back. He knocks him out again. And now Sean Strickland is tight. He's trying to leave the cage. He's not trying to be here. He has no idea what's happening. He's on Queer Street right now. He has no idea where he is. He's super angry. Wow, Alex Pereira did it. Let's see. It was a very short fight. First round knockout. I was predicting a second round knockout, but wow, beautiful left hook, like we explained it, guys. What did we say? We said he was gonna split the guard. He landed a beautiful left hook perfectly on the chin, and threw the straight right as soon as he was trying to get up, and just flatlined him right there. Refs called the stop to the fight, and that's it. And what it looks like right now is if Izzy can get the job done, it looks like we're gonna have a trilogy match. When it comes to Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. So that is crazy. Everyone in the chat saying, bro, I just said that though. Literally, Jerry Ethan. D Murray says vicious left hook. Guys, his left hook is something of like, I would say like it's like it's like the equivalent to like someone like Naoya Inoue or Jermel Charlo's left hook, where it's just like it's so quick and you don't. It's not even something that they load up a lot, but it's just a snappy, short left hook, and it just shuts the lights off. For any of the opponents that take it, I took him over Strickland in my parlay. Let's go. Eyes under hoodie. I to be honest, you should just drop your entire parlay because I think you're gonna go perfect on that parlay. I think you're gonna win some money because I just couldn't see Sean Strickland winning, regardless if he tried to wrestle, grapple, blah blah blah. I think Alex Pereira was just too big. His takedown defense was too good, and I think he was just gonna do this. He was gonna do this regardless. I said it was gonna happen in the second round. It happened in the first round, and it happened quick in the first round. He put him out twice in one fight. D Murray says, man, he's accurate. He is so accurate. Like, he really can't miss that left hook. And when he does miss that left hook, he tries to set it up even better with a straight right, so then he can split your guard, and then boom, he'll throw the left hook around and drop you. Jerry Ethan says his accuracy is money. It's literally what we're saying. It's like, wow, this is going to be amazing. The build-up for this fight versus Israel Adesanya, because I'm going to keep on saying he's going to fight Israel Adesanya because Israel Adesanya is going to win. But that is going to be crazy. Teofimo says, is he versus Pereira next? That's what I'm saying. Chief Wildfire says, Alex is going to drop him with the left. BG Kick says, right on the shin. Literally, bro. He just can't miss. We're going to watch the replay right now, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. Boom. It was just it was a tight, I mean, it started off very wide. It started off as a very wide hook, but it just landed very clean on the chin. Yeah. So what happened was Sean Strickland it looked like he was trying to check a kick because I'm not sure if Sean Strickland thought that it was a fake that Alex Pereira was trying to throw, but he basically lifted his leg and put his hands down like this as to say if he was trying to check a kick or he was trying to check or trying to block a body shot. But he actually ended up throwing the left hook and then followed up with the right hand, which is a classic. You know, this is classic boxing combinations. It's perfect because you mask the straight right, but that's the thing though. It's different for Alex Pereira because his left hook is the shot that puts you out, not the straight right. In the boxing combination is usually left to set up the straight because you're opening the guard and then you get the straight right through. But in this case, he actually throws the straight because he was trying to land the left hook. Wow. Duncan Pinderhayu says, so did anyone see Strickland talking all that noise at the presser? Didn't we know this was going to happen, though? Like, are we really surprised? Is anybody surprised in the chat? Let me know if you're surprised. Type a 1 in the chat if you're surprised that he got knocked out like that. I'm not surprised. I knew that was going to happen. D. Murray says, even the straight right while he was down was on point. His accuracy is beautiful. It's very, like, it's just perfect. These guys, like him and Izzy, their accuracy is, that's what takes them to that next level of striking. That's why they do so well in MMA. I think if Izzy goes with the same game plan with his casual opponents, for Alex, he's also gonna go night-night. I also could see that. But the thing is, he is very elusive. That's the thing, Jerry Ethan. He's very elusive, so I could see him maybe pulling off that game plan if he were to throw the leg kick, move, throw the leg kick, and try to check left hooks and stuff like that. But I say if he were to overextend like he does on some of those kicks and put himself in a bad position, I think that he definitely could get slept with a left hook. I still take Izzy over Alex Pereira. I think Izzy is going to show. I think Israel Adesanya is going to show why this is not kickboxing. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna show this is completely different. This is not kickboxing anymore. And yeah. All right, guys. Next fight, we got Alexander Volkanovski, the featherweight champion, versus the #1 contender Max Holloway. So, let me know your predictions in the chat right now, guys. Let me know who you guys think is gonna win when it comes to Alexander Volkanovski, the 145-pound champ, versus Max Holloway. Let me know. Hybrid Flash says, I was surprised because it was the first round knockout. Man went down that easy. Okay, I'll say that I was surprised then because I was thinking second round knockout, but he got knocked out in the first round and he got knocked out quick. They literally just started going at it. They just were throwing pretty bad punches. They were just testing the range, feinting, throwing a couple leg kicks, throwing a couple jabs, and then out of nowhere, I'm pretty sure I think Sean Strickland watched some tape on Alex Pereira, and he basically, I don't know, because it definitely was a feint. It was the feints that was doing it for him. Alex Pereira definitely was throwing those feints that was freezing Sean Strickland to think that there was a calf kick coming, and that's when he got clipped with that left hook on the chin. Everyone's saying, Duncan says, imagine Jared taps Izzy out. LMAO, nah, for real, but Izzy by KO. That's what I think. Truth Matter says Max. Hybrid says Max. Teofimo says Max for the upset. Dirk says Max beats him again. Super judges. And Tay says Misha Tate should stay retired. I think I want to give Misha Tate one more fight. She didn't look that bad in her last fight, her comeback fight. So I want to see her fight one more fight. It doesn't have to be against anybody amazing, exceptional, but just another fight to throw her into the mix. And depending on how she looks there, I think we can kind of judge if she's ready to go or not. These fights are going very quickly, so I did predict. I told you guys that that the Izzy fight was going to start about 12:30 to 1. I'm thinking it's going to start about. And literally that same time, just because these fights have been very quick. I'm thinking 12 to 1 o'clock now. 12 to 45 Eastern Standard Time, by the way. I want Max, but Volk has been a freight train lately. It's true. Wow. It's very hard to explain, but Alexander Volkanovski has just leveled up since those Max Holloway fights. He's just gotten progressively better. And it's very hard. It looks like nobody's going to be able to beat Alexander Volkanovski right now. He is just on a different, he's on a tear right now. He's looking as dominant as someone like Jose Aldo was looking like. But it's also crazy because you have to consider his opposition and his opponents. He is undefeated. He's undefeated in the UFC. You have to look at the people that he's beat. He's beat the Jose Aldos. He's beat the Chad Mendezes. He beat Max Holloway twice. He beat the Korean Zombie. He beat Brian Ortega. His resume is amazing. You know, this guy is becoming a great. If he's not already a featherweight great, he is becoming one right now. He is doing exceptional, and I think that he's on the path to becoming one of the greatest featherweights of all time, right behind Jose Aldo and Max Holloway. D. Murray says, good job, Lil Bro. You know your MMA. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mike Lou says, what's up, baby blue? UFC talk. Yeah, we're just talking UFC with everybody in here, all the peeps in here that know about UFC. Anybody that loves UFC, we're just talking about it and just having a fun time in here. There's 246 people in here. Let's try to get 246 likes. Might as well. Jerry Ethan says, Max is really scared lately. Punches, duh. Yeah, he is very scary. Max is on a tear also, but Max is also fighting the same way that he's always fought, but he's at just a different level. He's still fighting the same way. That's the thing that we can say. Max Holloway is better, and he's gotten better, but he's still having the same style that he's always had, where he takes a lot of damage and things like that. What I really hope, guys, is that this fight ends in a clear decision, or we need a finish by either or. I would not be upset if Volk knocks out or submits Max Holloway, and I would not be upset if Max Holloway knocks out, TKOs, anything. Alexander Volkanovski. I think we need a statement. I think we need something to end this rivalry because we have to. For a lot of the people that watch these fights, it's 1-1. You know, people think that Max Holloway. Me personally, I also think that Max Holloway should have got the nod on that fight. I'm not gonna say it was a robbery, but I do think he was. He deserved that nod on that second match. Alexander Volkanovski won the first one because Max Holloway did not expect those low kicks, and you know Alexander just kept it busy. So it's 1-1 right now in people's eyes. So this is really the definitive one right here. And this is really going to settle everything for the featherweight division. You know, if what's it called? Alexander Volkanovski wins this fight, it's over. This is 3-0 against Max Holloway. There's nothing else you can say. And it's a new era. It's a new era. It's the Alexander Volkanovski era. But if Max Holloway wins, that's and new. And apparently he said on the weigh-in show, he said that he's never been announced and new because he fought for the interim title and he fought for the when he fought Jose to unify the titles, he never got and new. He always got and now. So he's waiting for an and new. And if Max Holloway becomes the and new champion, this is going to be it's gonna be crazy because now we're back into the era back then, and what's gonna happen next? You know, is there gonna be a quadrilogy, a fourth fight between him and Alexander Volkanovski? You know, UFC doesn't like doing 4 fights. It's not something that they enjoy doing. Because if they did enjoy doing it, then Davison and Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno would have fought by now if they did enjoy it. So. Jeff Ferrari Caesar says, my friend Tresean Gore fights next week, UFC, ESPN. Yo, thank you so much for the $2. And yo, Tresean Gore, he is a dog, man. I love Tresean Gore. I actually had him. It was my favorites. In that what's it called? That Ultimate Fighter season were definitely Tresean Gore and Brian Battle. So, if any of them were going to win, I wanted it to be Tresean Gore, but Brian Battle was also my second pick. And I'm glad that he won it too, and it's it's unfortunate that he couldn't get that win against Brian Battle when it came to being in the UFC, when he actually got his chance and his actual debut in the UFC. But that's what happens, and I think he's gonna bounce back even stronger, and he's just gonna do better in this next fight. I expect him to put on a show. So yeah. D. Murray says, "Low Blue FC, good one, Denzel." Wait, I'm listening to this music right now, guys. I'm not sure if you guys are fans of the UFC. I mean, not of the UFC, of Stranger Things, but if you guys been tuning in on the 4th season of Stranger Things, but it's actually one of the main songs for Stranger Things, and I'm pretty sure that Max Holloway is walking out to it right now, so that's pretty hilarious and it's cool. Tay MMA says. She says, one thing I can say about Dana White is he will give you a fight you want to see. I can't stand his bald-headed ass, but he will listen to the fans. It's true. This is something that we need in boxing. We need promoters to make these fights. This is something we need. Man, I think that if there was more of this in boxing, man, I think boxing is already a huge sport, and I love boxing just as much as I love MMA, but it would just elevate to a different level because everybody there's so many fights that these people want to see that they're getting deprived of because of these stupid politics in boxing when it comes to cross promoting or when it comes to the promoting, when it comes to the money. It's just it's crazy. You know, that's why the fights are not made, and that's why people get fed up with boxing. All the belts, it's ridiculous. So I think that if these promoters actually made the fights that the fans wanted to see, it would be crazy. But I will admit that Top Rank has been doing his thing. Top Rank has been doing his thing with Naoya Inoue. They're trying to unify the titles right now for light heavyweight. So that Joe Smith Jr. and Archer Beterbiev fight. That Beterbiev fight had to happen, and they made it happen because that's one of the fights that we wanted to see. So I'm glad they've been progressively getting better, but it's gonna go back to the same old. So yeah. Tay says that's because UFC only has one champion for each division. It would solve a lot of problems, but you just have to. It's crazy because you have to think about how many boxers there are in the world, and how much boxers anybody can. A lot of people can be boxers. You can get a professional license for boxing, and and it's just like it's different because for the UFC you have to enter a roster. You enter a roster for this Premier League, and there's only a limited amount of fighters, and so fighting for the title is always it's always a possibility. But when it comes to boxing, it's very hard because of how many boxers there actually are in the world instead of how many UFC fighters there are on the roster. So yeah, that's why they have so many belts, because there's so many boxers. You have to this guy's amazing too, but if there was only one belt, then how are we gonna prove that he's amazing? How are we gonna sell our fights? We have to give him another belt. So let's make a WBC franchise belt, and we'll give it to him because he's good too. That's what happens. Valentino St. Clair says UFC fighters don't make money because there's not enough buildup. You know what's so crazy? Listen, I actually love the promotion and the buildup for UFC fights more than boxing. When it unless it's Top Rank, because I think Top Rank and Showtime, they promote their fighters and they do pretty decent promotion. They weren't doing promotion like how HBO Boxing was doing promotion, because I think that HBO Boxing was just beautiful in its time. So yeah, it was just different. I wish we can go back to that time, because that was definitely a golden era of boxing when we got HBO and we got the 24/7s and the Floyd Mayweather's versus Oscar De La Hoya's. That's why those fights were so big, because we had 24/7s and we had polarizing figures being promoted well. They're kind of doing the same thing for these UFC fighters. That's why these UFC fights, you see billboards, you see these ads, you see them everywhere. You see them on the ads when you're trying to look at your Snapchat. You see them on your ads when you're trying to look at your friend's Instagram story. You'll see them, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that this fight was gonna happen." So yeah. Tay says, and that's the problem with too many belts, unnecessary BS belts. It's facts. Valentina St. Clair says HBO Boxing did have great promotion. They had very great promotion, but once all the other promotions started going, Floyd Mayweather went to Showtime, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Mayweather went to Showtime, let's all go." So then everyone started going to Showtime. Then there was the PBCs in the world, and then there was the Zones and the Golden Boy. There was just different promotions, and it was crazy. So. Man. All right, so we got Alexander Volkanovski in the inspection zone. He's about to enter the octagon right now, and he's just looking good. He's looking fit, man. I cannot believe. I know you guys probably heard this before, but this man used to be 220 pounds. Like, this guy used to be a big dude, and he's not huge. He's not a very tall. He doesn't have a very tall body, like a tall frame or anything. He's just a very broad, stocky man. So imagine putting 80 more pounds on his frame. It's crazy. It's time for fighting, yeah. The Keji says Frank Warren is bringing back boxing to HBO, as BT Sports was just brought by Time Warner, who own HBO. Man, I love BT Sports too. BT Sports is doing their thing right now, so everything's just getting better. But all right, guys, it's time for the Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski fight. We got Max Holloway is 30 and Alexander Volkanovski 33. Alexander Volkanovski is 5'6", Max Holloway is 5'11", and then obviously it's crazy to think that the 5'11" person would have a shorter arm reach than the shorter person, but Volkanovski has a 1.5 or a 2.5 reach advantage over Max Holloway. That has a 5-inch height advantage over him, which is crazy. Jeffrari Caesar says, I'm going to see if I can get Trayshawn Gore to come through to the chat. Yo, that would be crazy. Yo, get my man up there, man. I've been a fan of him since I saw him doing interviews to actually be on to the Ultimate Fighter, man. That would be crazy. That would be amazing. That'd be huge for me, to be honest. Yo, $2 for Max, you said? $2 for Max. Let's put $2 on it. All right, guys. Undisputed Featherweight Championship right here. This is the third match between Alex Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. If you guys don't know the previous history of it, it was one controversial fight, which you could definitely – people see it for Alex Volkanovski, and you could possibly see it for Max Holloway. And then you have the second fight where Max Holloway, in my opinion, had the nod on it, but Alex Volkanovski got the fight. He actually got the result. He actually won. And so in people's eyes, they're 1-1, but Alex Volkanovski has 2 wins over him in the official books. So now Max Blessed Holloway is going to try to take revenge and get his first win against Alex Volkanovski, and Alex Volkanovski is going to try to remain and still. So we'll see. Who do you guys got? Drop your predictions in the chat right now because the fight's starting. I just want to see everybody predicting who you guys think is going to win right now, and predict exactly what you think is going to happen. Predict if you think it's going to be a first-round knockout, or do you think Alex is going to sub Max? Do you think Max is going to sub Alex? Do you think it's going to go to a no decision like the Sean O'Malley fight went? Like, let me know. What do you guys think? Eek Ellendu says, who the hell is this imposter? Man, I'm taking over for Blue right now. Blue was like, he doesn't know too much about MMA, and the MMA fights are on, and this is an amazing card, and I just had the opportunity to go ahead and live stream for you guys because I always come in this chat, and I love you guys in chat, and I also love MMA, so it's just good that we get to talk about the sport. Anybody that enjoys it, may the best man win. Exactly. Chief Wildfire says Volk round 3 KO. Woo. All right, let's see it, man. We're watching the fight right now. We're gonna get to it. I'm gonna just start commenting right now. Wow, man, I'm actually very excited for this. I'm very, 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 very excited. All right, Max Holloway starts pressing the issue right now. Just starts walking forward, just pressuring Alexander. But this is something that Alexander does. Alexander likes to be on the back foot. He likes to counter Max. Volkanovski's just looking for that lead leg kick right now, lead calf kick. Right now, Alex is just taking his time. This is something he does. He takes his time and he waits for counters, and he waits to lunge in at the perfect time so he can clip you and just hit you. He doesn't ever really start too fast. Right now, Max goes high with a lead high kick right there. Alexander Volkanovski just landing his patented lead leg kick right there. That's just a patented city kickboxing thing. They're very good at those feints. And then they throw their lead leg kicks very well. Max Holloway is also throwing or touching lead calf kick. I think it's going to be a lot like the second fight where Max Holloway is he's definitely going to do better when it comes to the leg kicks, but he's also going to throw a lot of leg kicks also just so he can rack up those points just in case it doesn't go his way when it comes to an actual knockout or anything like that. MCM says, Blue gave his family an opportunity to shine, show the youngsters some love. Exactly. Thank you guys so much for all the love you guys are showing because, to be honest, yeah, I definitely was nervous before getting on the live, but I saw the overwhelming support, and everybody's just everyone's just loving it right now, and I'm loving the chat, and I'm just loving the fights, and I hope you guys are loving the fights too. Band Up says, a Blue mess with you, so do I. Keep doing you, and tell Blue he should let me teach him something about UFC. Man, yeah, I've been trying to tell Blue about the UFC for a while, man. You know, sometimes there's just a lot of stuff when it comes to the UFC. So sometimes he knows a little bit about the stuff, and sometimes he's just a little clueless. But yeah, I got you. Don't worry about that. Max is just doing the typical thing right now. He's just touching up right now. They're both just very patient, and they're just throwing a lot of feints and just touching each other up. And boom, that was a good sharp low kick by Alex Volkanovski. Max is doing wow, Alexander is very good at trying to close the distance and landing those hooks on the inside. He's very good at slipping on the inside of Max's jabs and just landing big shots. Alex is definitely starting to find his timing for his right hand, because he's starting to land that pretty frequently right now. Ted Bayless is the main event on. No, the main event is going to be after this fight right now. We're in the first round. We got 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the co-main event. So after this event, then we got the main event. Wow. And Alexander Volkanovski is just being very sharp right now. Just hit him with a clean jab. Max is getting tagged up right now, especially on the inside, where Volk is just doing way better work on the inside. He is the shorter man, but he has the longer reach, so you would think. Max is he's having a very hard time just trying to get shots off because of Alex's timing. Oh my gosh, Alex clipped Max right now. We know that Max is very durable, but he's getting clipped right now. They're throwing leather right now. Max's timing is not as good as it usually is right now, but yeah, Alex is looking so sharp. Wow. All right, now they're trying to enter a clinch right here. They got double underhooks. Now Volkanovski got the right wrist of Max Holloway, and they break. Professor X says, salute, brother. We here and we support Blue and you 1,000%. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're just trying to enjoy the fights right now. I'm trying to enjoy your presence too, guys. Wow. Volkanovski is just throwing and he is landing right now. This is definitely – these last 30 seconds have been a lot of action. This is something that Max wants to do. He wants to be able to just throw in the pocket and just swing, and he thinks that he has the advantage when it comes to that. But we have to – if I had to give someone the power advantage, I definitely have to give it to Alexander Volkanovski. I just think Max Holloway is more durable, and usually he is quicker. But right here, Alexander Volkanovski is being sharp and fast, and he's getting to the punch quicker, and he's just killing it right now. He is killing it. It just looks like Max Holloway is finding it very hard to land on Alexander right now, just because of his footwork, and just wow, it's just that first round definitely went to Alexander Volkanovski. We'll say that. D. Murray says Holloway was stunned for a second. Absolutely, he definitely got clipped right there in that round. Wow, man. All right, let's see. All right, second round's about to come to us to a beginning, and let's see. Alex is just looking sharp. That's really it. And Max is definitely being cautious, and he's being aware of that leg kick, because he is checking the leg kick, and he's also throwing his own leg kick, but he's getting tagged up with the hands now. So he's getting way too distracted by those leg kicks. He's definitely trying to check them. He's lifting up the leg, blah, blah, blah. But Alex is doing that, and he's starting to feint and throwing an inside hip feint, and then starting to light him up with his hands. So he definitely has to be careful. Boom, Volkanovski hits Max with a straight right. Definitely clipped him. Volk is having some amazing angles right now. Hitting him. Good calf kick by Max Holloway right there. Wow. Volk is just finding his way on the inside so cleanly. It's very it looks very effortless for him right now. Boom, nice. All right, Max Holloway goes for a switch right body kick. Max is getting tagged up a lot. He got tagged again with a overhand right by Alexander Volkanovski. Alex is hitting Max, and he really just can't miss right now. When he goes on the inside, he's finding it very hard to miss Max right now. Max is just absorbing these shots like he usually does. But Max needs to stop absorbing these shots, and if he's going to absorb the shots, he needs to hit his shots of his own because he's not doing a lot except for pressuring him right now. All right, Alexander has double underhooks on Max Holloway right now, backs him up to the cage, and I'm guessing he's going to try to go for a little inside shirt. We'll see. Oh, hits an amazing elbow on the inside right there. Still has double underhooks. Oh, he has an over-under right now. Now it takes his back, and I'm guessing he's going to try to – wow. All right. Alexander breaks the clinch, but – lands that elbow right before he does. Max Holloway is never going to be discouraged from going forward, but he's just not landing when he has to land. He's not doing any damage, and Alex is not. He's just being very confident right now. He's just so super confident. He's landing whatever he wants to land on Max Holloway, and Max Holloway is getting tagged up right now. Hello, please. When is Israel Jared fight going down? This is the second round. We're 2 minutes into the. We're 3 minutes into the second round of the co-main event. So after this, I say give it. Give it about 25 more minutes, and the main event will start. Alexander Volkanovski is amazing fighting on his back foot. He is amazing fighting on his back foot. Because Max has been putting the pressure on him since round 1, and Alex Volkanovski is he just finds it very hard to miss, even when he's on the back foot. He's landing a very good jab off the back foot. He's landing lead hooks, lunging in after Max throws like a jab or something like that, lunging in, slipping, and then throwing his overhand right of his own. But we'll see. I'm just, wow. That was a really good sequence. Max Holloway does definitely need to start throwing a little bit more kicks, I feel. I think he's getting lit up right now when it comes to the boxing exchanges. And if you want to utilize your height advantage, he doesn't have the reach advantage. He does have the height advantage. So if you want to use your height advantage, you have to throw kicks. Something you have to do. You have longer legs, throw kicks. They'll land. Boom. All right, Max Holloway clips Alex Volkanovski with a 1-2. Alex kind of rolled with it, so it didn't do that much damage, but he definitely hit him with that 1-2. Wow, Alex Volkanovski hurts Max with a low kick right there. Drops him. Max goes for a running in knee, switch knee. Yeah, Max is slowing, man. Max is slow. Like he's just not as fast as Volk right now. He's just missing. Volkanovski is really turning these angles and switching off to different angles, and he's finding it very hard to get shots off. Like Max is definitely finding it very, very hard to hit Volkanovski because he's switching out angles. He's pivoting. He's doing like an L pivot where you step back and you pivot off to the left, like in a L shape like that. And he's just moving very well. Jerry Ethan says Volk striking is just way too slick though. Facts. Matty UL says he opened him up. He cut him. He's just way too slick right now for him. This is what I was saying, guys. This is what I was saying. Volkanovski is just looking. I didn't even predict this fight, by the way. This is like one of the fights that I did not predict. Max Holloway is just being too sharp right now. He's hitting these shots and he's moving out of the way. So he's bang, 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 throwing his shots. And he's throwing them quick. He's not really loading up with the shots. He's throwing them and then he slips off of the center line and then he out pivots out. Rooster says, what round is it? It's the third round is starting right now. All right, so a cut opened up on Max Holloway, but it's not the first time. It's not the first time he's gotten a cut, so I think we'll be fine. All right. If anything, Max needs to start opening up now. He has to start landing, and he has to start hurting and putting the pressure and just basically just discouraging Volk, because Volk is having way too much confidence right now to do whatever he wants to do, and Max is just not able to do anything. Zarita says, "Well, that cut is big. That gash is huge, but it's not the first time he's fought with a cut. So let's hope that that Cutman can blessed Holloway and everything ends up fine. But right now, what it's looking like it's a switching of the guard right now, and it looks like Alexander Volkanovski is doing his thing, and he's putting a stamp on this trilogy. What it looks like right now. And it's clear, and it's clear cut right now. Volk is just landing better. He's landing better, and he's getting off of the line, so Max can't hit him. And this is something you see with this is the perfect game plan, because the thing is, when Max throws punches, Max leaves himself there. You know, he kind of stares at his artwork for a little bit, and he punches, and he kind of stays there. He's never really moves off to the side to get a different angle. This is what Alexander is doing. So Alexander is getting his shots off, moving to a different angle, and since Max Holloway's still there, he gets to boom, 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 throw his punches again, and then move on to a different angle. I think the times that Alexander got dropped in like the second fight, he was just very stationary and wasn't moving around as much as he is right now. He is using his legs and he's moving around and creating angles just to hit Holloway right now, and he's just tagging him up right now with the uppercut left hook. Like, wow, Volkanovski is just lighting Max Holloway up right now. Oh man, they're gonna stop it. The cut's bad. Teofimo, yeah, that is true, man. The cut is horrible. Matty Wells said the same thing. Yeah, everyone's thinking that they're gonna stop it because of the cut. We're hoping that they don't stop it, because that would definitely be very lackluster. Because we didn't get the exact fight that we wanted. But man, Volkanovski's just dominating this fight right now. He just looks so good. There's just nothing that Max can do right now. Max had a plan in his head, and it did not come to fruition right now. But we still got 1:50 seconds left in this round, and we still have one more round after this one. So, or 2 more rounds actually. This is round 3, so we got 2 more rounds after this one. Let's see. I think we'll be able to get a better gist of how oh my gosh, so how this cut's looking once we get into the corner after this minute and 20 seconds right here. He's getting tagged up. I do believe that that they should throw in the towel, because you gotta save. This guy's Max is getting tagged up right now. Max just got hit with a good right hand right now. He's getting tagged up. He's getting lit up like he lit up Korean Zombie, man. He's just, there's not much that Max is able to do. Max is just getting lit up. Wow. Oh, wow. All right, Max Holloway lands a pretty decent shot right there. jumps in with a stepping switch knee, catches Volkanovski, but it didn't really matter because he kind of shook it off. Oh my goodness. Volkanovski throws the left hook to a straight right. And what's so crazy is that Max is not really able to he's putting the pressure when it comes to the distance management and how he's walking Volkanovski down, but he's not putting the same pressure when it comes to the output, because that's how Max Holloway wins these fights. Max Holloway systematically breaks down his opponents because he puts on a crazy output and he's able to land at a phenomenal clip, and he throws a lot and he lands a lot. In this fight, he's not able to land a lot because Alexander Volkanovski is moving out of the way and he's shifting and he's getting hit with a lot of shots. So Max Holloway is just not Max Holloway. He's not able to do what he usually does, and this is why he's losing this fight right now, because he's getting hit with constant shots. He's not moving out of the way, and he's not able to impose his own will when he throws. He's just not able to throw all the things that he's trying to throw. You know, usually Max Holloway will throw a triple jab and he'll end it off with a straight right. He's not able to throw his combination. He's not able to impose his will on Alexander Volkanovski because Alexander Volkanovski is not there to be hit. Basically, simple. Max Holloway is very tough. Max Holloway is very tough, but he needs a finish here. He really does. This is round 4, and he's lost 3 rounds in a row decisively. He needs a finish, or he needs a big 4th or 5th round. We need a 10-8 for him to even get a draw. So let's just see, man. Max needs to turn it up. If he wants to win this fight, he needs to turn it up. But he just seems so slow when it comes to Volkanovski right now. Volkanovski is just beating him to the punch. He's just beating him every single time. When they enter the exchange, the first person to land is Volkanovski. The last person to land is also Volkanovski, because Volkanovski punches, he moves, and he punches again, and Max Holloway is not able to hit him. Quez Cash BTB says, shout out to my boy. Yo, Quez. Jerry Ethan says, yes, bro, T.O. Maybe Wilder isn't a top skilled boxer. At least he's really sensational at setting his right hand. Nice. Matthew Pyro says, Max got a hard head like our people in big mouths and ears and nostrils. That's true. But he's getting hit right now, and he's getting tagged up, and he's not able to, like I said, I'm going to keep on saying it, he's not able to impose his own will and impose his game plan that he always imposes on his previous opponents, like Brian Ortega or Calvin Kattar, where he lit them up and he was able to break them down over 5 rounds because he never had that opportunity. Max Holloway starts very early, and Max Holloway starts early, and he finishes amazing on the championship rounds. But he looks very lackluster right now. He just looks like he can't catch Alexander Volkanovski. Simple. That's literally what it looks like. They're going to stop it on the 5th round. I genuinely believe that. I think they're just gonna call it quits. Big Southeast says Izzy got an advantage. He got a height advantage. He has a reach advantage. Jared does have the advantage experience when it comes to MMA fights. But fighting experience, I think that goes to Izzy also because of the kickboxing and stuff like that. Golden Ratio says Wilder may not be that skilled, but he definitely has godlike punching power. Absolutely, man. His right hand is just. His right hand is amazing, but let's not forget that he won a bronze medal at the Olympics. He has a good jab. You have to have a decent jab if you're gonna win the Olympics. Any type of medal at the Olympics, and that's what sets up his right hand. So you can't just have a right hand. You can't just have one right hand. It's not gonna get you that far. When you have a jab and a right hand, that's gonna get you very far. Max Holloway goes for a takedown on Alexander Volkanovski. He has his back. Then Volkanovski turns him to the cage and has a over-under on him right now. Volkanovski is very strong for the 145-pound division. Remember, he did. I'm pretty sure he did debut at 155 pounds, and before that, he used to play rugby, and he was about 210 pounds. So he was a very, very big guy. Max Holloway high kicks Volkanovski. Wow, Alexander Volkanovski is just teeing off on Max Holloway, just countering him. There's a minute and 30 seconds left in this fourth round right now. Wow. This is looking crazy. Wow. Max Holloway is really trying to go first, but it's just hard for when Max Holloway goes first. Alexander sees it. He's seeing everything. He slips, he rolls, and he dodges, and he hits Max with a counter, or he just gets out of the way completely and leaves Max stranded looking for him, basically. Max people need to stomp him. Man, Max is just... Let's see. Max is here in the fourth rounds. Max has grit. Max has durability. But right now, Alexander is just outshining him when it comes to actual pure skills. He is being a way better mixed martial artist than him right now. He is showing his improvement. He is showing that he is the top, and he is the echelon. Like, he has at the top echelon of fighters right now. He deserves to be number one pound for pound, he's saying right here with this one. Now, it's hard to say that because Kamaru Usman does have a fight with Leon Edwards coming up, Salt Lake City, Utah. But Alexander is definitely putting himself in a good spot to be number one pound for pound after beating Max for the third time, and this is decisively. He is putting a beating on Max. This is not even close at all. Max Holloway has to be. He has to create opportunities. He has to go for it now. There's no other chance. This is the last round. This is the last round, guys. He has to put it on him. Simple. I keep on saying simple because it is literally that. It's easier said than done, but he has to go. It's go time right now for Max. It's the fifth round. He's lost every single round right now, and the cut is not looking any better. He has to go, not leave himself very vulnerable, but he does have to open up and try to land a big shot because he needs a finish. He needs a finish against Alexander Volkanovski if he was just gonna shut at him. So let's see. Last round, fifth round, guys. Max is wide open. He needs a high guard. I don't even know exactly what he needs. I think that even if he were to have a high guard, D. Murray, I think Alexander would pick him apart because I think he would just pick him to the body, pick him to the legs, and then he would swing around the sides with hooks. And it's just not looking good for Max. There's not a lot of things that Max can do because Alexander is looking so sharp and he's just looking perfect. This is the perfect fighter right now. Alex is looking like the perfect MMA fighter right now. He's not really making a lot of mistakes. He's so defensively responsible, and Max is shooting a takedown. Like you see this. Max is shooting a takedown. He's not going to get it because Alexander Volkanovski's takedown defense is amazing, and his strength is also on a different level when it comes to featherweights. But Volk has not attempted a takedown yet, and so let's see. I think he's going to try right here with a strip. I think Alex is just trying to prove a point. He doesn't have to take it to the ground, and he's just beating him in every aspect. Alex is a tough guy. He was a good rugby player. Yeah, I mean, I never got to see him actually play rugby because I'm pretty sure it was just like a regional thing for him. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. He's very tough. I'll say that. I can agree with that. Wow, Volkanovski tries to go high with that kick. Volkanovski's popping him with that jab. He just can't miss against Max right now. I think this is gonna go all 5 rounds, and it's gonna be a unanimous decision. It's gonna be a 50-45 for Volk right now. 50-45, potentially even a 50-40, 50-44. This is crazy. Man, I'm just worried for Max and want him to stop, as I heard he already has CTE. Man, if he's not already there, I think in a couple, like one more fight, if he fights how he usually fights, he'll get there. I think he definitely should. He proved everything that he had to prove technically. You know, he doesn't really need to do much more in the game. He was the featherweight champion. He is considered one of the best featherweight champions of all time. You know, right with Jose Aldo and now Alexander Volkanovski. So I would not hate to see Max retire, but we have to realize that Max is still young. Max did get into MMA when he was younger, so that's why he's fighting right now, and he's been a champion. All these things, but he's only 30 years old. It sucks to see him go as young as he would have to go, but his mental health and his brain damage and all that stuff is definitely more important than us just getting some entertainment out of him. So D. Murray says, yeah, Max just wants to finish this fight. Yeah, he knows it's done. I think Max knows that there's genuinely no way for him to try to finish this fight. There's only a minute 30 seconds left, and so Max Holloway is not known for his one punch knockout power. He's known for putting on flurries and stuff like that, and it's looking done right now. This was not a close fight at all. Alexander Volkanovski took every single round. This is a 50-45, 50-44 type of fight. And Alexander Volkanovski closed the book on Max Holloway and this trilogy right here. Wow, he's lighting up Max Holloway right now in this last minute. Max Holloway is looking like when he fights his own opponents. Max Holloway right now is looking like Brian Ortega when he fought Max Holloway, or he's looking like Calvin Kattar when he fought Max Holloway. Max Holloway is looking like a mess. He is busted up, he is cut, he is bruised, and he's done. I think his will is still there. His will to fight and his will to win is still there, but he just can't do it. Simple. He just can't do it. When is the main event? How long left? Well, this is the last round. We got 30 seconds left in this last round, and then I probably give it like 10 more minutes. And then the main event's going to start, and that's pretty it. I'm guessing it's going to start at 12:30, I say, Justin Williams. Ralph Sultan says, salute to you, brother, young brother. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody that actually showed up and everybody that's staying in here. There's like 303 people in here, so we should definitely get to 303 likes. I appreciate everybody that's in here, everybody that's tuning in to watch me while Blue is gone and not watching the UFC fights right now. And I'm just probably going to update them after this. All these fights are done. But this has been a great night of fights. The only lackluster fight really on the card has been Sean O'Malley getting no decision against Pedro Munhoz. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. All the likes, all the views. And we're done with the co-main event. So let's figure out the decision for the co-main event. And then we're on to the main event. And we'll just discuss some post-fight antics, and I want to hear just matchups you guys want to make for the future and what you guys think that these winners should go on to, and even the losers. What do you think the losers should go on to with their careers after they lost or after they won? Let me know. The Golden Ratio says you should make a platform. I would watch you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was definitely gonna make a channel. Right now, what's crazy is I was supposed to film some content, but I forgot my SD card for my camera, so I came here to record a watch party, and I was gonna make like I was gonna make a vlog, and we were just gonna talk about the fights and stuff like that. But I ended up not bringing my SD card, and I was like, I'm not gonna go back home because I just want to talk to you guys and just entertain you guys for a little bit. Big Bro says, what time is the main event? Tian Pang says, what time is the main event? It's going to be at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I say, guys, stick around and give it about 10 more minutes. Give it about 10 more minutes, and it's probably going to start. You deserve this one. Great card from Canada. Yeah, great. It's a great card call. Sorry, I couldn't even read that. But this is amazing, guys. This fight card has been amazing. Like I said, I'm just gonna keep on saying it. Besides the very lackluster decision that we got in the Sean O'Malley fight, this has been an amazing card, and it definitely lived up. I know that all of us definitely thought that this would be way bigger, and there would be way more finishes. We thought it was going to be like a UFC London 2021 or 2022, but this is going to be finishes back to back to back to back to back. But we got some good finishes, we got some good decisions, we got some bad decisions, and right now we're going to end up figuring out the decision for Max Holloway versus Alex Volkanovski. So let's see. Yeah. All three judges, and still 50-45. 50-45. He is still the undisputed UFC featherweight division champion, Alex Volkanovski. It's just, it was just too easy for him. It was very easy for him. I don't know really what was wrong with Max's game plan. And I don't think there was anything wrong with Max's game plan. I just think that Alexander was on a different level. And I think it's literally never used God's name in vain, but he was on his, like, when you think about anime, since we got the style bender coming up, when you think about anime and you think about people like Goku and you think about, like, he went God mode. This was perfect. He was a perfect mixed martial artist in this fight. Robbie says, peace and love, young. Blue salute. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night. To be honest, I'm pretty sure it's night for you. Now we get in the talk from Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski is talking about people standing up for themselves and not letting them bring you down and stuff like that. And I think that's a perfect message for him to relay because everybody was knocking on him. Even for this last fight right here, he had 2-0 against Max Holloway, and people were still doubting him. Man, he proved it tonight that he's just that better fighter, and that's really it. Whereas Dana says, Mr. Naga Raju. I have no clue, but he's been doing this recently where he doesn't show up to events and he doesn't show up to the post fight conferences, which is pretty weird. And boom, and now Alexander just called for a shot right there for the lightweight title. I think that's going to be his next fight. So Alexander Volkanovski wants that next shot at the lightweight title. He thinks that he should get the fight against whoever wins the next fight, the next title fight in the UFC, whether that's Charles Oliveira versus whoever it might be, to get the vacated title. Adesanya fight started already? No, it has not started, Okoye. It's about to start in about, I say, give it like 9 more minutes. It's about to start. Jeffrey Caesar says, he here where he, Trayshawn Gore up in here? Yo, big fan, Trayshawn. Man, good luck. Good luck in your fight coming up. Man, I can't wait to see that. That's about to be amazing. That's about to be crazy. Hold on. Gotta take a picture for this one. Gotta save this for memories, man. Yeah, I hope you great luck, man. I wish great luck on you on your next fight because man, you've been doing good. You've been exceptional. Got a little unlucky in the when it came to Brian Battle, but I was actually rooting for you, and it actually sucked to see when you got injured and you couldn't win the Ultimate Fighter. So most definitely got to put him to sleep. He says, Volk proved everyone wrong 3 times in a row. Respect. It's facts. You can't knock on him. You literally cannot knock on Volkanovski because Volkanovski did a 3. He did a 3-peat. Max Holloway was talking about he was trying to do a 3-peat. He did a 3-peat on him. You know, like, it's crazy. Q-Dog says, when is John Jones fighting again? I have no clue when John Jones is fighting again, but it's most likely going to be against Stipe. It's going to be against Stipe or I'm not sure how much longer Ngannou's taking to heal, but most likely it's going to be against Stipe for I'm not sure if they're trying to do an interim title anymore, but that might be the fight. Tian Tang says, what time is it there? Right now, it is 12:23 Eastern Standard Time over here. The fight's going to start anytime right now. They're just tuned us back in. And, yeah, they're probably going to start announcing Jared Cannonier to walk out and get inspected. And, like I say, give it like 3 more minutes. John said in September that he's going to get the fight. And it's most likely going to be against Stipe. So that's going to be an amazing fight. Malcolm Dotson said, what do you think about Ian Gary? Yo, Ian Gary he's definitely a good prospect. I think that his hype that he has around him is definitely way bigger than the actual necessary. I'm not trying to say he's a hype job, because he's not a hype job. I don't necessarily think he's a hype job, but he definitely has a lot of hype behind him. And his performances, they definitely, especially his debut. His debut was amazing, but he definitely has a lot of holes in his game that he has to patch up to get to that point where everybody thinks that he's at right now. You know, he claims to be the next reincarnation of Conor McGregor, and he's going to do it. He's going to do the Irish Takeover Part 2, and we've yet to see that stardom that he has, you know? So I'm not sure. Who do you have winning in the main card? The main fight, I have Israel Adesanya winning by a round 3 knockout. Yo, what's it called? It was Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland fight. I was talking about it with the chat before, and I was telling them, yo, guys, it's about to be a I'm predicting a round. Oh no, it was not Alex Pereira. It was what fight was it? Yo, how am I forgetting right now? It was it's the Brian Barberena versus Robbie Lawler fight, and I was giving them a whole breakdown, right? Mm-hmm. Giving a whole breakdown, and then Robbie, I was like, guys, it's gonna be Brian Barberena in the third round. He's about to knock him out. Yeah. Third round TKO. I told him. Yeah. Perfect prediction. Yeah. Perfect prediction. I was like, what I tell y'all? Like, I was just speaking the truth right there. If Blue got you on, I know you're solid. Thank you, Deontay Mosley. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, we just running it up with the UFC. We just interacting with the chat. I mean, I love the chat, and I love MMA. I love the chat, and this just creates for really good moments for me and the entire chat, because this is the memorable card, and it was stacked top to bottom. And I hope everybody's having fun over here in the chat. So, and then we got Blue over here. He just came back downstairs, and he just tuning in. See the last fight, because the last fight's about to start in like about 5 minutes. So yeah. Anybody else that was asking when the fight's gonna start, like JR Low right here, it's about to start literally about, I give it 5 more minutes. It's about to start. It is 12:25 right here on the Eastern Standard Time. So about 5 more minutes, 12:30. I'm guessing. Jeff Ferrari Caesar says, "What's up, Blue?"
All right, Caesar, tell him I said, "What's up?"
He says, "Salute."
Salute, great brother. Salute.
He says, "Salute, great brother." All right, so right now, Ian is Adrian Broner, already crowned as the next, but is he that? Man, I think you could, but that's the thing, though. It's not. I can't even say that. I can't say that because Adrian Broner was an actual problem. Adrian Broner was showing that stardom, and Adrian Broner was actually doing the work that to accompany the hype that he had. Ian Gary's just not this. It's just not the same. Like, Adrian Broner was putting on those performances, and he was knocking people out, and he was actually and when he was not knocking out people, he was putting on the performances that showed up and showed off that he was actually deserving of the hype. Right now, Ian Gary got a first round knockout that was good in his debut, and then he cruised to a decision in 2 of his last fights. So he is 3-0 in the UFC. 2 of them were decisions. 1 of them is a knockout. And I definitely believe that he can do better. There's just a lot of stuff that he can fix up. But I definitely think he's going to continue to do better when he goes on. Blue, you know who we had on in here? Oh. So it was he was a contestant in the Ultimate Fighter, right? And so, man, he got a very it was a very unlucky thing. He got injured, and so he didn't get to fight in the for the Ultimate Fighter trophy or whatever to be the winner. And so then he just tapped in right now. He has a fight. He has a fight next week. Yeah, somebody be crazy. So that's dope. Band Up said, "Tell Blue." I said, "What's up, great brother?"
What's good?
Yes, until he thought it would be next week, he'd be the next Floyd. After DeMarco, it went downhill. It's true. It's true. But Adrian Broner's not at that point right now. I don't. What's crazy is he already thinks that he's gonna be the next Conor McGregor. He just hasn't shown it to us yet, to be honest. Adrian Broner showed us his talent at the start, and that's why we put hype into him, and that's why the promoters put dollars into him, and that's why people like Floyd Mayweather backed him, because they saw the potential and they saw the talent behind him, not just all the hype. So Ian Gary's not the same. And I'm not trying to hate on Ian Gary, because I like Ian Gary, but there's a lot of hype. Rock B says it was the left hook on Strickland. Oh man, that left hook on Strickland was dirty. I gotta show you that knockout right now. Hold on, let me show you that knockout. Flush. I was talking about I was talking to them before it happened. The sequence happened. I was talking to them about how his name is Alex Pereira. How he sets up his he's a kickboxer. So obviously, to be a kickboxer, you have to know the fundamentals of boxing also. And it was just the cleanest, perfect, like simple, a classic boxing combo. The left hook into the straight right. Yeah. So he does a reverse. Yes, he does a straight right to a left hook because he wants to open up, split the guard, right? Yeah. He wants to open up the guard so you can close up the guard like that, and he comes around the And so he does that. He feints it, hits the left hook, and then as he's dropping, he gets back up and he hits him with a straight right and just turns his life off. It was just crazy. Malcolm Dotson says, I appreciate your input. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and drop them. I'll give you my honest opinion about anybody in the MMA space, even the boxing space, to be honest. All right, we got Jared Cannonier at the inspection booth right now, and right now he's just dapping up all his coaches, all his partners, and he's about to enter the octagon right now after he gets inspected. It's a little bit of Vaseline put on him. Abel says, Alex is dangerous. He's the only guy to beat Izzy twice. Yeah, he's the only guy to beat Izzy twice, but Izzy has his own thoughts about those fights and stuff like that. Izzy believes that he was whooping Pereira. Listen, I watched the fights back, and I genuinely still, and I'm an Izzy fan, which is crazy. I genuinely still believe that Pereira was beating him. Pereira was beating him either way. And he just got bested in those kickboxing matches. But this is not kickboxing. You have to realize this is not kickboxing. This is MMA. This is a completely different game. There are takedowns. It's just an entirely different game. All right. So we cannot just take the fights with Alex Pereira and Izzy from kickboxing and apply it to MMA, because Israel Adesanya is undefeated at middleweight. He's undefeated at middleweight, and he's proved himself in this middleweight division. Now, Pereira just got his third win in the UFC. He just got his third win in the UFC against the number 4 opponent. That was kind of just built for him. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not knocking Sean Strickland, because Sean Strickland is badass. But damn, like Alex Pereira, he just stood no chance against Alex Pereira. Yeah, get the lights up. We got 335 people. We just got more people. 335 people. Yo, the main event is starting right now. It's 12:31 on the East Coast. I told you guys 12:30 it was gonna start. We got Israel Adesanya walking in right now. Let's just get the lights up. We should have 338 likes, to be honest. There was another guy in MMA who was hyped up within the last 3 years. He dislocated his ankle or hurt his ankle and lost that fight. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, we're talking about Sean O'Malley, man. We're talking about Sean O'Malley, but Sean O'Malley's hype is still there because just look at, oh my gosh, hold on. We got Israel Adesanya's walkout. He's the Undertaker? Yo, Israel Adesanya is the Undertaker. He has an urn and everything too. It's crazy. He got like the ashes like an urn or something. Or is this an anime? No, I'm pretty sure this is Undertaker.
Yeah, it's Undertaker.
This is crazy. Yeah, he always does some crazy walk-ins.
Yeah, he the underdog?
Yeah, huh? No, he's not the underdog.
He walked second?
He walks second. It's different from he walks second because he's the champion.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, is this Blue Sun? You what's good, bro? Nah, it's his nephew. I just took over because we talking about UFC and We just getting it on and just having some fun in the chat. We're just watching the fights. And the main event's about to start right now. We got Izzy walking out. And he looks like the Undertaker right now. He has an urn of something. It looks like a I don't even know what that is. Let's see what's going on right now. He feeling it though. That's crazy. Yeah, haha. He's coming out as the WWE, the Undertaker. Yeah, he's coming out as the Undertaker right now. This is crazy, guys. Yo, how you guys feel about this right now? Anybody watching at home, how you guys feel about his walkout right now? We always see him dancing. We always see him doing something else, running to the stage like an anime character. What about this Undertaker? Tan Tank says he's doing this for TikTok. Of course he's doing this for TikTok. You know how much views he about to get on TikTok? Adesanya got this, bro, says Michael Lee. True. That's exactly what I think. Wow. What's your guys' opinions on Jeffrey Caesar says, I wanted Wilder to walk out as the Undertaker. That would have been crazy. But you know, boxing is different. Like UFC and boxing is different. Wilder would have went way crazier on his intro. He would have blew it out of the water. Like, I like how Israel's doing it right now, but it would have been completely different if Deontay did it. He would have put money onto it. He would have put too much money. He would put a hell of money onto it, and it would have just been a spectacle. Something to remember for years. Goldman says TikTok can change your life if you play your hands right. Exactly. Yo, how do you guys feel about Israel Adesanya's green shorts? You know, he's rocking green shorts right now for Nigeria. So how you guys feel about that? He usually always rocks the white or the black and gold. D. Murray says he had to get legal permission from Vince to use that theme. Yeah, literally. Yo, and what's good with everybody going to the WWE and getting signed to the WWE? It's crazy. John Brown says, I got 175 on Israel. I think your money's safe, man. Your money is safe because guess what? Because Drake even bet a light milli on Israel. But I think everybody in the chat right now knows how the Drake curse works. So let's hope that that Drake curse is not real because oh my God, if that Drake curse is real and Israel Adesanya just gets if he gets put out like how Drake usually does it, that's gonna be very bad. All right, Israel Adesanya pees on the side of the octagon again, like he did at his debut. WWE dropping that back to stay relevant. Only can respect that grind, getting big influencers. Literally. I'm pretty sure they just signed Logan Paul, so you know.
You see Tay Brown?
Tay Brown? Yeah, I did.
Somebody blocked her. You said.
Blocked her?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could probably find it up there.
It had to be YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to look up there. I definitely don't think I blocked her. But you can see Trishan Gore right there on the bottom. Right there, Trishan Gore. Yeah. Real Trishan.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, she says she's a moderator.
I know I definitely didn't block. I haven't really touched the thing unless it was to put something on the screen or
yeah, no, that's
thingy. All right, guys, the fight's starting right now. We got Bruce Buffer just announcing referee. We got Herb Dean. We know how we feel about Herb Dean. I don't know how you guys feel about Herb Dean. And then we got it just announcing right now, championship fight, 185 pounds. Man, it's time. It's time right now, guys.
Yeah, right there. Look.
All right. I'm not completely sure. I mean, we can go to the thingy and block it, right? We'll figure it out right now.
But look.
Yeah, I know. I said it says it right there.
Yeah.
I got you. Hold on.
That's YouTube, man. Ah, man. Tay, try to comment again.
All right. All right, let's we got to read this right. I read this right. All right, perfect. All right, you just have to I think you can do it on there if you want to.
I can do it on
there? Yeah. So you just gotta go to your YouTube studio, you gotta go to settings, and then it says community, and then it'll say the people you got blocked on there. All right, we got spiritual Jerry Cannonier right now with all the amethysts and all the crystals and all that stuff. We got him right now. They just introduced him. And now they're about to introduce Israel Adesanya. Man, it's about to get crazy. Yo, let me know all your predictions right now in chat. Please. Please. Everybody leave your predictions out in the chat. How do you guys think this is about to go? Izzy round 4 KO, says Chief Wildfire. All right. Ariel L says you missed a super chat. My bad. We were just we had some technical difficulties over here. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, this is crazy, man.
Oh, there you go. I got you, Ariel. This deserves super chat. Great job, my man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for dropping 14. There you go. I got you.
You said go where now? Go to settings.
Yeah. Settings right there. Okay. And then the community right there. Okay. And then right there, it's going to say, all right, those are the moderators. And now if you go down, it's going to show you hidden and it's going to show you blocked, I'm pretty sure. And it's going to show you, so right here, select community, hidden users. Yeah, so hidden users are the blocked users that you got on there. So you can scroll through that and then you can see.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right, Israel Adesanya is about to come out fighting right now. He's in his usual pose, has his arms stuck up into the cage, and round 1 starts. He starts off usual with his patented leg kicks, feinting, throwing the inside hip feint. And we have Jared Cannonier doing his usual inside and outside movement where he hops in and out, just trying to just play mouse with the cat and mouse with the movement right now, with the footwork. Boom. Israel Adesanya tries to throw a good lead body roundhouse.
You too tripping, man. They blocking my moderators. Yeah.
And if it's not there, then try to check on the moderators, see if it's there also. Boom. Oh my gosh. Cannonier's coming in huge with the overhand rights, but Adesanya is just slipping and he's moving perfectly and rolling his shoulders just to get a evade him. Jared Cannonier is exceptional when it comes to what's it called, leg kicks. We know what he did to Anderson Silva. This is not Anderson Silva though. You know, this is a completely different animal in Adesanya. So, Jared Cannonier is definitely gonna have. If he's gonna keep on trying to kick Adesanya's leg, I think he's definitely gonna get a lot of leg kicks checked, and Adesanya is also gonna kick Cannonier's legs twice as much as he's kicking them. Right now, he's just doing the usual. Right now, just gauging the distance with his hand out and just kicking.
It's not blocked. She's not in it.
It
might be it's something that she did.
It's not there?
No, she's not there.
Oh, man. All right. 3 minutes remaining in the rounds. Right now, they're just really just trying to figure out the distance and just get each other's timings. They're just throwing a lot of leg kicks, throwing a lot of jabs to the head, and then going down to the body, just trying to level change.
It's crazy.
Adesanya doing the typical, just moving on the outside and just blasting lead low kicks into his opponent's legs. But this is the thing, though. I genuinely believe that Adesanya is setting this up, and he's picking apart Jared Cannonier because he's going to try to finish him. I don't think he's going to try to coast to a victory like how he did against Robert Whittaker. Like right now, Adesanya just threw a straight right, a left hook, and then followed up by a left body kick. Like now he's gonna try to start putting stuff out after he gets Jared Cannonier acclimated to all the feints and all the things that he's trying to set him up for. Jared Cannonier's trying to intercept Adesanya with a leg kick.
She's not blocked. It says she's blocked on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. I don't think everybody's still enjoying the stream, hopefully. And it's also very hard because Jared Cannonier has to enter into the pocket to land his punches. But Adesanya is very good at managing the distance. So every time Jared Cannonier is trying to take a step forward to land his jab, Adesanya takes a step backwards and intercepts him with a jab or a leg kick and makes him stumble. So it's looking very hard for Jared Cannonier to try to get into the distance. But this is what Jared Cannonier does. He adapts to everybody's style in the UFC. All the opponents that he's faced, he adapts it to the style. Just like how when he fought Derek Brunson, he got knocked down and then he adapted and he ended up sleeping him. He's going to try to do the same exact thing against Adesanya here.
So you see how it looks like.
Yeah.
But she's not blocking.
He's not going to show any of the messages before?
No. But the thing about it is, let me take a picture of it.
All right.
The thing about it, you see that says block, right?
Yeah.
Now, this comes up as blocked.
Does it?
Yeah. Look.
So it should be there then.
Look, right there. It comes up as blocked.
So it should be around there, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but she's not blocked. She's not showing it.
Oh, man. Did you check in the moderators?
Yeah, but these are just the moderated, regular mods. But I can't even find that in there.
All right. 1 second remaining in the round. Same typical thing for Izzy. Just blasting a lot of low kicks and just trying to gauge the distance. Really just trying to set up Jared Cannonier for things later on in the rounds. I think he's definitely trying to I'm guessing he probably studied that fight with him and Robert Whittaker, as that was the only loss that Jared Cannonier had at middleweight. So I'm guessing he's trying to catch him with a rear or a lead high kick. That's what I'm thinking, because right now he's blasting a lot of kicks to the legs and a lot of kicks to the body, following his straight right and his left hook. So I'm guessing that he's trying to set something up to a top. So, but like I said, Jared Cannonier this is what he does. Jared Cannonier adapts to his opponent's fighting styles, and we'll just see how this second round goes. He had about 5 minutes to see what Israel Adesanya was doing, and we'll see if he adapts and what he does.
Wow. They trip.
All right, here, let's see. What Jared Cannonier really has to do is he has to close the distance. He has to close the distance with multiple strikes, I think, and then try to get Israel Adesanya to have his back up on the cage, because I do genuinely think that Jared Cannonier has to wrestle. I think so. I don't think that Jared Cannonier is going to be able to catch Israel Adesanya, but anything can happen, and Jared Cannonier does have one punch knockout power, so we'll see. Jared Cannonier catches Israel Adesanya with a jab right there. Boom, right there. Like I said, Israel Adesanya catches Jared Cannonier with a rear high kick. It's something he's trying to set up. He's going to blast him to the legs. He's going to blast him to the body, and then when Jared Cannonier is feeling lazy and he's sleepy, boom, right there, he's going to catch him with a high kick that he's not expecting, just like how he did in the Robert Whittaker fight, when he got caught and he got his arm broken, I'm pretty sure. Wow, catches Jared Cannonier right there with that leg kick as he does. Izzy catches him with a beautiful straight left right there. Israel Adesanya is very subtle when he changes stances. He gives a lot of different angles and a lot of different looks, and it's so subtle you really cannot tell the difference when he changes stances. This is how he dropped Robert Whittaker. He was in the orthodox stance and he subtly switched to the southpaw stance and hit him with a straight left in the southpaw stance, or was it he hit him with a straight right in the southpaw stance and just dropped him on his butt. So all right, sorry, I gotta. All right, let's peep the chat right now. All right.
Man.
Chat useless. Thank you, bro. Yes, peace. Praisino says Izzy. Michael Lee says facts. It's just a matter of time. It's literally just a matter of time until Izzy catches Cannonier. I'm really thinking. I think he's gonna keep on setting him up to catch him with something up top. Israel Adesanya is going to beat him to hell, says see it. I think so. Justin James says, hey, you doing the UFC? Yeah, we're doing the UFC right now. We're just doing the UFC 276 right now. It is the main event. Ooh, Israel Adesanya overextended right there. And if Jared Cannonier was a little bit more accurate, he would have landed that straight right. And I think he would have put Israel to bed right there. So Justin James says, I got Izzy. Man, we both got Izzy. Day 6100 says, you late, man. I'm not really sure who we talking to. WPO Wolfpack International says, what's good, fam? What's going on? Right now, we got 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the second round of the main event, 276. Ooh, Israel Adesanya hits Jared Cannonier with a beautiful left hook to the body. Wow. Israel Adesanya is trying to grab Jared Cannonier's wrist and trying to hit him with an elbow. Jared Cannonier catches Adesanya with a jab right there, but Adesanya has his hands open. It's become a trend today. Israel Adesanya held his hand open and I guess poked Jared Cannonier in the eye. Let's not have one of these fights again where the fight ends because we got an eye poke. Let's not do that. David Kuch says, respect for African champions. This is an easy meal. Man, we got the three kings right now in the UFC. We got Kamaru Usman, we got Francis Ngannou, and we got Israel Adesanya, all from Africa. And they're dominant too. They're not just regular champions. They're dominant champions. These are people these are fighters and champions that got title defenses and some of the hardest title defenses. Izzy is going to handle this like Romero and Costa. I think he's just going to handle it like Costa. I don't think he's going to handle it like Romero because the Romero fight, well, we know how he handled that Romero fight. We just don't want another Romero fight. Israel Adesanya is stumbling Jared Cannonier with these lead low kicks and the rear low kicks, and he's just doing this inside hip thing that just keeps on catching Jared Cannonier and just keeps on freezing him. Todd says Izzy will loose like my tie is loose, my shoes are loose. This era of UFC champions will be remembered for a long time. I absolutely agree with you, Go, man. This is definitely a great era of champions. Now, I will say for the light heavyweight division, it would definitely be remembered because you have to remember that it was only two champions for a long time in the UFC light heavyweight division. That was before Jones, of course, that was after Jones, because before Jones, it was just switching hands like left and right. And so then Jones got the title and then DC got the title. And then after that, after Jones got the title once again, and he vacated, then it started playing hopscotch around. And we've had 3 new champions. We've had Jan Blachowicz, we've had Glover Teixeira, and now we have Yuri Prochazka. So this is definitely a time to remember in the UFC when it comes to champions and everything. See, it says Izzy will win every round. So far, he has won both rounds right now. We're on round 3 right now, and he is clearly winning it. Izzy will do what he does on points, or Jared will get him if he stops complaining. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely gonna be tough for Jared Cannonier to catch Israel Adesanya, but I definitely think he could. But I think it's gonna be very hard for him to do it because Israel Adesanya is very elusive and he's just very quick when it comes to movement. So, boom, Israel Adesanya throws a lead low kick into a rear low kick. He's really trying to beat up the legs of Jared Cannonier, just get him moving very slow so he can just catch him when he's not able to move. What do you think on Crawford Spence, man? I've been waiting for that fight for years, man, to be honest. Like, ever since I got into boxing, that's one of the fights that I've been waiting to watch. There's really not much to say. I just think that's going to be, whenever that fight happens, that's going to be fight of the year. And it's just going to put an emphasis on the 147 weight division. And just, there's not going to be a lot of talk after that. It's really going to settle who's the best at that weight class. We have there's a lot of opposing thoughts and a lot of opposing opinions on the 147-pound division, whether it's Terrence Crawford being the best or Errol Spence being the best. So that fight would settle it all, and I think it would just be a barn burner. That would be an amazing fight. Right now we got Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier. We got 3:40 left in the round 3. Right now, Israel Adesanya is just picking apart Jared Cannonier. He's not doing way too much, not doing a lot of damage, just picking him apart, kicking his legs like he typically does. We're waiting for Israel Adesanya to really turn it up right now. I'm waiting for him to turn it up and do the damage that he said he was going to do.
Yeah,
because yes, of course, Israel Adesanya has to be careful because this is Jared Cannonier we're talking about. Jared Cannonier has 1-punch knockout power, but Israel Adesanya, he did say that he was gonna make this look very easy. Right now, 3 rounds in, he is making it look easy, but he's not putting on the damage and the performance that he said he was gonna put on. He said he was gonna assassinate Jared Cannonier. This is not what is going on right now. Jared Cannonier just got on the inside right now with the clinch, and he hit a really good shots right now on Israel Adesanya. Good level change right now. And Jared Cannonier is very strong. I would not be I would not be surprised if he gets a takedown on Israel Adesanya. Boom, right here. He goes for a single leg drag. Could not get it. Israel Adesanya just blisters out, and that's it. All right, Israel Adesanya goes back to going to the jab. Boom, tries to go high right there. Tries to bring the glove down, grabs the wrist, tries to bring the glove down, and it goes for the lead high kick. Izzy versus a young Giaspiro Silva. Come on, we have seen something like Izzy. I think Israel would be I think Israel, I don't know about a young GSP. I think Israel would do work against GSP just because of the weight difference and how good Israel's takedown defense is. And then against Silva, that would be a chess match. I have no idea how that would go. Izzy will easily win. Will win easily, he said. I have not seen anything like maybe. Don't nobody hear you talk. Want to hear you talk. You show it. You can't fight, can you? What are you talking about? What is this guy talking about? What is this guy Rolanda talking about? Yeah, you trying, bro. You trying. What do you think about Hamza versus Covington? That would be an amazing fight. I'm not gonna lie. That would be an amazing fight. And I just think that's the fight that makes the most sense. You know, you have 2 top contenders. I'm pretty sure Hamza is number 3 and Colby Covington is number 1 or number 2. That fight has to happen. for progression to be made in the welterweight division because there's not a lot of there's people surging from the welterweight division. We got people like Bilal Muhammad, we got Sean Brady, and we got Shavkat Rakhmonov that just got a win over Neil Magny. It's progressing, but we need movement in the welterweight division. Is basically what I'm saying. We need activity. Stop lying. We have not seen anyone like Izzy in MMA. That's true. I believe that. I believe that we haven't seen any strikers like Izzy in MMA. He is a specialist, and his when he started learning MMA and his defense got his wrestling defense got this good, his takedown defense. He's just an unstoppable force right now. I can't see anybody beating him. I can't even see Alex Pereira beating him. Yeah, it looks like Jared Cannonier is just kind of holding Israel Adesanya, kind of like how Marvin Vettori did against the cage, not really doing too much. We got round 4 coming up, and I think Israel Adesanya is going to start putting on the pressure now because, like I said, Israel Adesanya was saying that he was going to assassinate Jared Cannonier, and I'm not completely seeing that right now. I definitely see a dismantling of Jared Cannonier, and he's hitting shots on him. Israel Adesanya is hitting Jared Cannonier with beautiful straight rights and straight lefts and stuff like that, but he's not putting the damage on like how he said he was going to do and put a finish to him. Adesanya is going to win by decision. He has smart fighters, says Michael Lee. I mean, it would be smart to finish him by decision just because of the power threat that Jared Cannonier holds. It'd just be different. Anderson Silva was Izzy before Izzy. Facts. Or was it Izzy is Anderson Silva before Izzy? Justin Mitchell says Colby beat Usman in fight 1. What do you guys think? I think that it was a very close fight, and I think that the reason that the fight got swayed to I just know. It's just because he got finished. Colby Covington got finished in the first fight. That's the only reason. I can't say that it was a close fight. And I think that if Kamaru did not finish it, then we could have saw the belt go somewhere else. But Kamaru put a stamp on it, and he finished him in the first fight. So there's not really much debate there. Izzy should be pound for pound number 1, not Usman. Usman number 2. I think it should actually be. I think it should be Usman, it should be Alex, and then it should be Adesanya. Just because sometimes Adesanya's performances are not lackluster. He's been clearing out the division and he does it dominantly, but he's just you have Kamaru. Kamaru's just leveled up in his game. He just leveled up in his game, and I just believe that he deserves that number 1 pound for pound spot, especially if he beats Leon Edwards, Salt Lake City, when they fight. Adesanya's grabbing Jared Cannonier's wrist, just trying to move. Adesanya with another body shot. Those body kicks are vicious. Like you can literally hear them. Jared Cannonier is really having an extremely tough time to try to figure out where Adesanya is. It's kind of like how the Max Holloway and Alex Volkanovski fight worked out. He's having a very hard time reaching him and getting to him because he's a shorter fighter and stuff like that. But that's the thing. Alex Volkanovski is not even a shorter fighter. He was just too much. He was quicker than him. And it's the same thing for Adesanya right now. His head movement is just amazing, and he's just making Jared Cannonier miss right now. He just made Jared Cannonier do a 360. But they were back of the head punches, and the ref called it too early, says Justin Mitchell. Yeah, but, on paper, it happened. When we watched the fight, it happened. It's like, And the thing is, I actually like Covington. I like how he fights. Israel Adesanya just got knocked out the stream delay. Imagine. I'm watching it on pay-per-view. There's no delay. That'd be crazy, though. I can see it. Imagine, right now they're in the clinch, and then Jared Cannonier breaks off Adesanya off the clinch right now, just throws the elbow, boom, cleans the clock. Israel literally went up a weight class and picks people apart. Plus, fighters are just as much as Usman. Fight stronger guys, not easy fights other than Colby. But that's the thing, though. Usman is fighting the people that the fans want. We can't lie. Like Usman is fighting the people that the fans want. The next person that Usman needs to fight that the fans really want is Hamza, obviously. Obviously Leon deserves a shot, but I think Kamaru's just done it. He deserves it. I think he had a huge 2021, and I think he deserves to be pound for pound number one. Now after this fight, I have no idea. I can see Israel Adesanya. I can see Alex Volkanovski being shot up to number one, and then Israel number two, and then Kamaru number three. But I just think that they're in limbo, and I think that they deserve to be near each other like that. Jones or Izzy? I think Jones beats Izzy in their primes because of the wrestling he had and the dynamic striking that he had. To be honest, that's not even a bad. I don't think that's a bad take. I think his wrestling and the threat of the takedown, and I think his dynamic striking just would beat Izzy. He was strong too. Remember, he was the first person to take down Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is not small. Golden Ratio says Kamaru is the best welterweight ever. Almost. I think so. Almost. I think he has a little bit left to do before he beats Georges St. Pierre, but I think he would be once he accomplishes those things that gets him to be over Georges St. Pierre than him. Right now, Jared Cannonier is really just holding Israel Adesanya on the cage right now. It's kind of looking like a Marvin Vettori versus Israel Adesanya too, where he's just holding them on the cage, just grinding them, just trying to grind for maybe a clinch elbow right there, like he just did. Clinch elbow, just trying to do some dirty boxing or try to take him down. Bones Jones. Yeah, everybody's saying Bones Jones, man. It's just obvious. Breaking news, Nets offer Durant $143 million deal. Yo, we were just talking about this, Michael Lee. That's crazy. Is that facts though? Is that facts or are you trolling me? That Nets offered Durant a $143 million deal. Because I'm pretty if he really wants off that bad, I don't even think he takes it. Do you think Michael Venomage can beat Izzy? No, I don't think so. I think MVP is too small. He's 170 pounds. He's too small. He's big for a welterweight, like tall and like long and lanky for a welterweight. He would just get beat by Israel Adesanya, and I think Israel Adesanya has better striking than him. Your opinion round score? I think it is. It's a shutout right now for Izzy. I think Izzy has won every single round. I think this last round was close for Jared Cannonier. If you were to count control time against the cage and stuff like that, if you were to count that and you were to count that as very significant and substantial, then I could see that. Right now, Jared Cannonier is feeling it right now. So yeah, I could see it being 3-1 right now. I can see it being 3-1 or 4-0. That's what I see right now. I would not be opposed to saying 3-1 because I do think that Jared Cannonier could have done it. Right now, Jared Cannonier comes in blazing right now, throwing a straight right, just lunging in. He's trying to land something big on Izzy right now. Izzy's obviously managing his distance very well, so he's not getting hit. He's just backing out very good, just picking him off with the jab and stuff like that. $192 million for 4 years. That's pretty good. Who is next for Izzy? Jared is not ready for Izzy's style of fighting. That's facts. It's proven right here. The only round that Jared Cannonier really took is because he possibly could have taken was because he held him against the cage. And he's working. He's working against the cage. He's trying to get dirty boxing against the cage, trying to get elbows and stuff like that. But Israel Adesanya definitely said he was going to put a stamp on this fight and he was going to destroy him. But sometimes stuff does not go to plan as planned. Like it's like how Mike Tyson says, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So I think Israel Adesanya got punched in the mouth and he was like, damn, I'm not taking this guy out. But it's crazy because if we look at Jared Cannonier's career, Jared Cannonier has only lost to the best, and he's lost to champions. Jared Cannonier lost to he lost to Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira that both ended up being light heavyweight champions of the world. And now he's losing. He lost to Robert Whittaker, that was a former middleweight champion. And now he's going to most likely lose unless he gets a base shot off on Israel Adesanya. He's going to lose to Israel Adesanya, who is the current champion. There's no reason for anybody to knock on Jared Cannonier and say that Jared Cannonier is done, because Jared Cannonier is fighting the best of the best, and he only loses to the best. Izzy loses on points, low boring fight to the others. Nah, he's not losing on points right now. Izzy's too powerful for Jared. Next fight, big Izzy. I don't even think it has to do with power. I think it has to do with the elusiveness that Izzy has. I think Jared Cannonier, strength-wise, I think is more powerful than Israel Adesanya, but I don't think that matters. I think he's just way too elusive, way too quick, way too accurate for Jared Cannonier. And he's moving out of the way, dipping and dodging, and just beating Israel Adesanya when it comes to that. I could see where people would think that this is a boring fight, but this is a little masterclass. You know, if you really enjoy the sport of MMA, you could see that they're just doing their thing right now. Do y'all see Izzy ever going for a rematch with Jan? Not unless he wins the light heavyweight title again. I think if Israel keeps on dominating and beating his oppositions at middleweight, that he's going to go up in weight again and try again. And if Yuri still has the title at that time, if he beats Jan Blachowicz, which is most likely going to be the next fight, then he's probably going to try to fight Yuri, which I don't know if that's the best idea because Yuri is huge. So, but Yuri would love to keep us standing. So, Alex Pereira versus Izzy, question mark. You see the knockout on Strickland? Yeah, that was exceptional. Left hook to sit him down. He bounced back up, hit him with a straight right, and just turned the lights off. Yeah, I think Izzy wins though. I think Izzy picks him apart. I really hope to see Izzy get another finish. You know, we've seen Izzy in spurts being great, but I want to see Izzy return to being the Izzy that knocked out the Robert Whittaker and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that Israel Adesanya is not still great. He's not. He is great. He's his performances has just been different. Oh my gosh, Jared Cannonier hits Izzy with a beautiful right hook, and that was actually pretty nice. With all the money on KD made in the NBA, he never bothered to pick up a Five Guys burger. Like, why not, KD? You wealthy. He never ate Five Guys, bro. What? Sean Strickland just has a big mouth. I enjoyed getting low-key. But, yeah, I did not expect it to be like that, though. That was crazy. Wow, Israel Adesanya goes for a left-right. Now he's feeling a little bit more loose, and he's opening up a little bit, but it's a little too late. You know, there's not much time left in the fight, so there's only 20 seconds left. Right now, I could see if I were to score it, if I were to have to judge it, I think it's going to be a 49. I think it's going to be a 50-45, or it's going to be a 49-44. 49-45 or 49-44. Izzy versus Robert Whittaker again. I want to see that fight happen. I think Robert Whittaker has to be Marvin Vettori. He has to be Marvin Vettori, and he has to be, I think, one more fighter. It's Robert Whittaker has fought Israel twice. He got knocked out once, and then he got, just outclassed in the second fight. Even though it was a very, very, very close fight, he got beat. So he kind of is in the same. He's in the same boat as Max Holloway. Not anymore, because Max Holloway just got beat today, but like that. Yo, Blue Sports TV. I'm saying this right. Yep. Mike Ellie. Yo, shout out to Mike Ellie. Michael Lee says Adesanya got this in the bag, bro. Of course, yeah. I'm pretty sure. This is a clear decision for Adesanya. I think it's gonna be a 50-45 or a 49-46. I think he won every single round, if not just lost one round because Jared Cannonier was clinching him on the cage and just holding him on there. Trayvon Allen says, where is Blue? Blue just went upstairs right now. He was chilling down here for a little bit, but I took over the stream because we're talking about UFC, and We just talked about UFC. I don't even want to butcher your name right now. Ola Yinka Way says Izzy should move up in weight. He already cleaned out the division. That's facts. But I think he said move up in weight after he fights Alex Pereira in his next fight, which is most likely going to happen. He fights him, and then I think he moves up in weight again. Or he stays that middleweight because there's still people that he can beat. There's still people out there. We just saw Andre Muniz beat Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall was number 9. So Andre Muniz is probably gonna have a number 9 ranking. So Jared Cannonier is a tough man. He is a tough man. You know, he only gets beat by the best. It's facts. He only gets beat by the best. Losses in the UFC, bro. Jan Blachowicz, Glover. Yeah. What I tell you, yeah, the scorecards were as exactly how I told you guys. 49-46, 49-46, 50-45. Still, Jared Cannonier knew he didn't have that in the bag. Israel Adesanya was too tricky for him. Much respect to Jared. Exactly, Adesanya. Leslie X said, Izzy got millionaires on his shoulders. Quizzy Wizzy says, is the fight still on? No, the fight just ended right now. Israel Adesanya is still the champion. 49-46 for 2 judges and 50-45 for 1 other judge. Asla says, guys, can y'all tell me who won, bro, Israel or Jared? Israel just won right now. He retained his championship. Right now he's about to talk at the post interview. Teofimo says Izzy 4-1 exactly. Izzy 4-1 on 2 scorecards and Izzy 5-0 on another one. Jeremy Hurd says who's winning? Israel already won. Cannonier should have took more risk in the second. I think Cannonier should have took more risk in the 3rd, 4th, 5th. I think he tried to it's hard. It's easy for us to say that he should have did more because he just couldn't catch him. He couldn't catch Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya was way too elusive for Jared Cannonier to catch. Darius Derrick says which round? The fight's over completely. It's done. Izzy's talking right now. He finished the fight and got a clean decision. 4-1, 49-46 or 50-45. Oh my gosh, and he backs out right there. All right, Israel Adesanya said he's gonna leave. He said he's gonna leave Alex Pereira frozen like Elsa. He's about to put. He said he's gonna. So Alex Pereira, the guy I just told you about, the one that hit the knockout. Mm-hmm. So basically, he had 2 fights in the UFC. Mm-hmm. So basically, because they had a rivalry, him and Adesanya had a rivalry, right? Uh-huh. So let me explain it to you. They had a rivalry back in kickboxing. That's his only knockout loss. Adesanya. He got knocked out by this guy, Alex Pereira, right? And so now Alex Pereira just entered the UFC, right? He just did his 3rd fight right now, and that's the guy I just told you that knocked the other guy out, right? Sean Strickland. And so now after those 2 fights, after this 3rd fight right now, he has a shot at the title, and now they're probably about to fight. So it's going to be their 3rd fight, and their 1st fight in MMA. But, you know, Israel Adesanya got knocked out, like, horrible. Like, he needed the oxygen tank, like, oxygen, like, mask.
But that was in kickboxing.
That was in kickboxing, though. So I'm telling everybody, everyone really thinks it's going to be, I don't know. It's really tough to say, but it's different. This is MMA, guys. Salute. Enjoyed listening to you guys. Peter Olhan said who won. Israel Adesanya won. Alex Volkanovski won. Sean O'Malley fight 1-2, no decision. Brian Barberena won. And then who else was on the main card? That's basic. I think that was it. Yeah, those who won. Yeah, that knockout was bad. Oh, and then of course, Alex Pereira won by knockout against Sean Strickland for 1st round or 2nd round. Izzy actually messed up. No, that's it. So, what chance do you give Edwards over Usman? Edwards got way better, guys. Let's just do a little bit of post talk right here. Peace out to everybody that just came here to say bye. You know, the fights are over, but anybody that wants to stick around, talk about the fights and just the matchmaking for the future. If you guys want to talk about it, you guys can stay in the chat for a little bit and we'll talk about it. I think Leon has a good chance against Usman because Leon has improved significantly since the last time that he fought Usman. He hasn't lost since that time, since that fight, and he's on a 9-fight winning streak, I'm pretty sure. So he's definitely has a good chance against him, and I think Leon, I don't know, Leon can definitely do it, but we have seen Leon get rocked even by Nate Diaz for making mistakes. So the striker in Usman that was fighting Leon before is not the same striker now. Usman is a completely different striker. So sloppy at times, but he definitely cleaned up his striking, and he's just a better all-around fighter now. So I could definitely see Usman doing better in this fight against Leon. But Usman said it himself. He said he's scared of Leon, and that this is a scary fight for him. Good job, my man Blue. You keep those youngsters on the right path. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Lenny Lunch. Justin Mitchell says Izzy versus Usman would be lit, but what way would they fight at? Who goes up and who goes down? Kamaru said he would go up. I mean, we know that Israel would not go down to 170 pounds. He probably could, but he would look like hell. So it would be Usman going up. And yeah, they said that they would never do it, but money talks. And yeah, Israel wins. Israel wins, I think. Good job, Bub. Get the likes. Yeah, everybody get the likes up. Everybody that's leaving, just go ahead and leave a like. It literally costs nothing, and it just shows the support and just shows that you guys enjoyed the stream for as long as it went. Was Israel fight knockout? Nah, Peter, it was not. It ended up in a decision, 49-46, and then 50-45 on the last card. Leslie X says Pereira versus Izzy. That's going to be an amazing fight. I think Izzy still takes it, though. I want to see Izzy get the finishes that he was talking about, though. Isaac says, did it end? It did end. The fight ended, and right now we're just talking about matches in the future. I think Leon is going to make it hella competitive, says Dokan. I think the exact same. I think he's going to make it super competitive, and I think it's going to be a really good fight for Kamaru Usman. I think so. JP says, great job on the analysis commentary. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Literally, this was my first time, and I felt the love from you guys, and I just felt the support, the overwhelming support. And, hopefully we can do this again on another stacked UFC card, hopefully. And I'll definitely be tuned in the chat whenever we do some regular live streams and stuff like that. But, yeah, I just appreciate it. We can talk about some future fights for a little bit, and then we're going to just close off the stream here. Do you think Bones Jones going to come back? Yeah, he said he's going to come back in September, I'm pretty sure, Lenny. He said he's going to come back in September, most likely, and I think his opponent's going to be Stipe. We're seeing Stipe out there in International Fight Week. I'm not sure if anyone got to ask him if he had a fight coming up, but I'm pretty sure they're going to fight out there in September. It's either going to be him or it's going to be Ngannou. Izzy wasn't easy on Jared. Jared, best luck, no dispute. And also, yeah, man, like, Jared is tough, man. Jared is very hard to put out. Like, very, very, very hard to put out. So it was obvious that Israel was definitely going to have some hard time putting Jared Cannonier out. Jared is on his way home crying in the car. It's facts, man. It sucks for him, to be honest, because he has only lost to champs or former champs. Yeah. Jared had no confidence. It's facts. He definitely did not go ahead and do what we thought he was going to do, like blitz him and go ahead and throw combinations and try to land at least one punch. I thought he was going to do like some Ngannou stuff where he would rush at him, throw a blitz, and maybe connect a punch and try to sit down Israel Adesanya and finish him that way, or try to wrestle him, but he didn't. Jared, he should have put out more pressure. He definitely should have put more pressure out, but it's hard. It's hard to do when you're fighting Izzy. So, yeah. John Jones and Stipe will be lit. John Jones and Francis will be even better. Literally. I think John Jones versus Stipe is perfect. I think it's the UFC, some people call him the UFC heavyweight GOAT, Stipe versus John Jones, the light heavyweight GOAT. And I just think it would be a perfect fight to set up Ngannou rematch or an Ngannou match for Jones. So I think it would just be perfect. No one can stand with Izzy at 185. We'll choke Alex out. Says, yo, it's Tony. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I don't know about choking Alex out, but I definitely think that he would beat him for sure. We appreciate you, bro. You did a great job for your first time doing a live stream. I appreciate it, Michael Lee. Literally, like I said, yeah, definitely was nervous coming in here first, but you guys supported me, and we've been doing this for 3 hours. I've been streaming, and it's just been very enjoyable. So I just appreciate you guys like 100%. It's so unfortunate that Jared went for the man. It's tough, but I definitely can see Jared bouncing back and maybe getting another shot at the title. But yeah, LMAO, in your opinion, Stipe straight up deserves the trilogy fight with Francis. I think he deserves it also. I think he deserves it also. I think just by the way that he beat him in the first fight and just his status as the UFC heavyweight GOAT in some people's eyes. I put air quotations because not everybody thinks that way. Not saying I don't think that way. I'm just saying not everybody thinks that way. And so I think he deserves that. If you're going to give Aldo versus Merab fight of the year coming up, that's going to be an amazing fight. And we'll talk about it more, to be honest, but I think that's probably it. It's 124. We talked about fights the entire stream. We talked about potential fights. We talked about fights from the past, and we talked about fights in the present that were happening at the time. We had a pretty good card. We had some lackluster fights when it came to the main card, like Sean O'Malley's, where it ended up in a no decision. And then we had pretty decent fights when it came to Robbie Lawler and Brian Barberena getting knocked out in the third round. Just the card was pretty good all around for being as stacked as it was. And I just appreciate everybody for being here in the chat. Before I leave, everybody smash the like button. Everyone just like before you guys leave, because I hope you guys enjoy. That's just going to show that you guys enjoy the stream. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning into my first stream, even though it's actually a new stream. And I will see you guys on the next huge, massive stacked UFC card. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace.